The following program is rated podcast MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Hey, Bikeaholics and listeners alike, the show is still going strong because of a lot of hard work and your support, of course. Thanks to all those loyal listeners and true friends of the show that have supported us or are supporting us. For less than a coffee a month, you can help support us too and put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank to make sure this show keeps moving on down the road. So, calling all law-abiding bikers, head over to our Patreon page and take action today. You can do so at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Oh, did I mention there's benefits too? From all your friends at lawabidingbiker.com, we appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and ride safe. And now, straight from the Law Abiding Biker Media Studio,
out of sunny Yakima, Washington,
we bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
Hola, papi. Ven y escucha otro episodio del Lab.
Oh, yeah. Feeling it, Oscar.
That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the Big MM, the motorcycle majority, also known as the
99%.
What are you waiting for, bikeaholics? What are you doing? Mount up already. Let us take you on a ride. Also, all you freaky, deaky Sons of Anarchy watchers, you fans, the freaky people. I'm one of those freaky people, dude.
Oh, yeah, I am too.
Proud to be a SOA fan. This is a special episode. Let's get into it, huh? Welcome. Of course, I am Ryan Erlacher, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
That is Oscar, guys. In here in the studio on the sofa, loving life.
Wow.
Kicking it. All right, man, we have got, again, guys, this is a special episode in between our regular, of course, we have our weekly Law Abiding Biker podcast. If you're a listener just for the SOA season, strongly encourage you to tune in. We go year round, and we got the regular weekly episodes with a ton of information. We've got a packed episode, Oscar.
Very packed.
So we're not going to screw around a lot. We're going to get right down to business. So
given some of the content in this TV show and the fact that you and I are in this room here and you relate to the comment you just made.
Yeah.
The listeners could take that the wrong way.
True.
Right.
True that, dude.
I'm not Rat. You're not Tig.
Right. Oh, God.
Sorry.
Quite a scene.
Yeah. We'll get there.
All right. I didn't tell you too before the episode is we're just labeling our SOA podcast as explicit. So if you do accidentally drop an S-bomb or an F-bomb, it's okay.
Right.
There's no way to keep them clean anymore, especially with scenes like that with Tig and okay. So yeah, it's not going to happen anymore. There's no way. So, all right, guys, let's get into it. So this is going to cover episode 1 and 2 of season 7 of Sons of Anarchy. We're going to wrap it all, put it in a wrapper, get your helmets on. I'm telling you, safety first, because we're going to throw some crap at you, man. You want to be prepared for it. Buckle down. Episode 1, of course, aired September 9th, 2014, titled The Black Widower. All right, let's rock and roll. Let's go right into you want to open it up, Oscar? You want me to roll?
Go for it, dude.
All right, so opening scene, Jax, of course, he's in prison. We talked about that a little bit with some of the trailers and stuff. So it was, in fact, beating up a guy in jail, slicing and dicing him.
And you guys said he was putting in work?
He put in I looked at it, dude. He's cutting a swastika.
No, but I mean, in the podcast you guys did.
Oh, yeah, right.
You said he's putting in work for someone. And indeed,
he was.
You were right.
For Marilyn Manson.
He's
freaky deaky.
Weird looking all the way around.
He is. He did a good job, his little part there.
He did.
We'll see if he comes up more as the season goes on.
He has to.
He will. Because he's supposed to get out of prison soon. Remember that?
Yeah.
When he, we'll talk a little bit about that, but you're going to need a friend and all that. Jack says you're going to need the darkest hand and the whatever. so I assume he's going to get out and hook up with SOA at some point. So, yeah, cut a swastika in him, and then you want to talk a little bit about them meeting in the, didn't they meet up after Jax did that, met up with them in the commons area there, the jail. It's not prison, it's jail. I can tell it's like a county jail or something.
Yeah. Well, when he tells old Marilyn Manson, man, getting info out of this guy was like pulling teeth.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That was a joke.
That was awesome, dude.
You are killing me. Sorry. I know I couldn't help it.
There you go.
You know what? But some of that I couldn't hear real well because we were watching it in a group, and
okay,
his voice was kind of low.
To wrap that up, basically, Jax threw the teeth on the table and all that, and he's got
that was a surprise.
That was a little surprise, even for Marilyn Manson. Yeah. And he told him, hey, you may need us in the future, and I think he said something like, if you need a friend, choose the darkest hand in the yard.
Right.
If they ever meet up at Stockton, and
right.
I think he's assuming SOA, or basically saying SOA is the darkest hand. You'll want to be friends with us.
They were putting something together.
Correct. That's the way
sure.
I understood it.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Did you see that? He was carving an actual swastika.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but okay, so was that a message to someone? Or was he setting that guy up for something else?
I don't know. But here's the deal. Did you see he's putting a swastika in that, and there's at least one black lookout guy.
Yeah, and it wasn't
he's black, and
wasn't a complete swastika either.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. I don't know if that's going to come back at any point.
That whole jail prison thing, the lines always get blurred, and I don't know.
I agree.
That has to come back at some point.
So you want to talk about Chibs and Tig and all them Bobby riding with the Grim Bastards or Grim Reapers?
I'm sorry,
me.
but
are they the Grim Bastards or the Grim Reapers?
Grim Bastards.
Grim Bastards. All right.
The only thing I got out of that was Lurch pointed out the Stormtrooper bike.
Oh yeah.
And
what are you talking about? What Stormtrooper bike?
The Stormtrooper bike.
The white one?
In that scene, there was a bike. It was all white. I mean, these are black guys, right?
And they're just all riding together, right?
Yeah, they were all riding together. And so once Lurch mentioned the Stormtrooper bike, that was it. I could only see that bike, and it was all white. And
so it looks like they're all riding together. It looks like a super glide, doesn't it? With a little fairing, and it's all white.
Even have white handlebars.
It has white handlebars. It has white wheels.
Tank.
And there's a fluorescent one too, a fluorescent orange one that the other guy's riding. It comes up later.
I didn't even see the orange one. Yep. I saw that.
It's the exact same bike, except it's fluorescent, like a fluorescent orange.
I thought that was a road. No, that's a road. I thought it was Road Glide.
Oh,
the orange one?
I don't know. I think I have it written down here somewhere. I think they're both Dyna Super Glides, dude. Yeah, fluorescent orange right here. Even the struts are, the chrome struts.
Oh, yeah,
that come back for the fender. They're orange, dude. I looked at it. I had to rewind it.
That white bike stuck out. And I mean, that's insane.
But the president's bike is pretty bad looking, dude. Did you see that thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad bikes on there.
Yeah. Of course, it shows with Nero at the clubhouse. Gemma's with the boys. Juice is randomly doing naked push-ups.
What was that?
That's my bad, folks. I'm sorry to the
dude.
Listeners. Yeah.
Kurt Sutter. Really? I mean, dude, that's
what
a
purpose?
Great show. What does that serve?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't need to see Juice's
We
butt.
could have had like Wendy doing naked push-ups.
Oh, now you're talking,
right.
dude.
No, we get Juice. Thanks, Kurt, dude. Thanks.
Oh, God, dude. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about here, just the opening scenes. I apologize to the listeners there. And then it shows some of the chicks at the Diosa. All right, now let's bump into the first scene. Wendy walking out of the Verona house.
Oh, yeah, she bounces.
Mm-hmm. Drug and alcohol rehab clinic. What's she there for? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I have no idea. I think she's under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Maybe.
Yeah, she might have been a tweaker.
All right, so Wayne asks if she's sure she wants to do this, and he's talking about, she was supposed to be in there for much longer. The plan was apparently to put her in there for 90 days because she's a heroin junkie. She says 9 days was enough. She said she's crawling out of her skin inside there because she was worried about Abel.
No.
Mm-hmm.
She sees the opening door that is Jack's teller.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tara's door closed. Jack's is open. She's like, I got to get out of here.
She wants him back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
You guys called it.
There you go. Well, I didn't call that one. Chewy and Lurch called that one.
Someone on that episode called it.
Yeah, Chewy and Lurch. Yeah, not me. I know it's probably going to happen, but I think I don't want it to happen, so I'm going against it.
Good for Wendy.
All right, so Gemma and D.A. Patterson, they're both in the county jail there to visit Jax. They're checking in there, and this is going to be interesting because I've got a soundbite on this. So you know what? Let's just. I think we should just listen to the soundbite, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Sound good?
Yep.
All right, here we go, guys.
He found the woman he loved dead. The woman he loved more than anything. What do you want him to say?
What do you think about that?
Dude, I think that's Gemma working more of her magic. She can't stop. It is so deep in her genetics. She can't stop.
Yeah. Well,
she's angling. Dude, she's angling. She's setting up the DA. That's all she's doing.
Okay. You think she's setting her up for what?
To dig for info.
That's I got you. I feel you. I feel what you're laying down, dude. All right. So they obviously sit next to each other, and of course, DA tells her she's sorry and all that, and Gemma digs a little bit for information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought I had a
funny timing.
Yeah, right. And not finding anyone apparently at this time. So yeah, she's feeling that little.
But okay, so your kid loses the gal that he loves, right?
Right.
And then you're going, oh man, I feel so bad for my son. No, not Gemma. So what do you got on Tara's murder?
Right.
She cares about herself.
Oh,
that's why she set that up.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
just saying, she can't help it,
dude. I like it. She's always digging. We know that. She's always conniving something. So, all right. So Jax is obviously in jail. Here's where we want to talk. We already talked about it, so let's just skip. Jax and Marilyn sit down together. Oh, I've got some funny little things here. I noted. So Jax told him, hey, Marilyn, whatever. I don't even know what Marilyn's name is in the show. Marilyn Manson.
I don't think they didn't say him. He didn't introduce himself.
Right. I guess we'll find that out. I'm sure I could look it up, but that's too much work. So, all right. So Jax makes a joke, and he says, throws the teeth. This was funny. He throws the teeth on the table, and they're like, what are those for? He goes, Jax says, I thought you wanted to make a necklace out of them. He didn't laugh. Marilyn didn't laugh.
He didn't not even a smile.
No, didn't break character, man. Said it. So Jax says, I was told if I wanted to sit down, I had to make the message clear. And of course, Jax says, your snitch ain't going to be talking about anything for a long time. So apparently the guy he was cutting the swastika in was some kind of snitch.
Maybe.
Of some sort.
Maybe.
So that's just my assumption.
And I'm assuming that the whole deal that went down with Henry Rollins, because they killed him in the bathroom.
Right.
That's the whole clearing the air.
Okay, right.
Making it right with the skinheads, I guess.
And he's supposed to be, per the episode, Marilyn's supposed to be the new leader.
Right.
Is that how you understand it?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So he's the new leader. He's the new shot caller. And so Jax needs to get in with him good. Because Jax always wants to use people later. Marilyn says, what do you want? He says, I want to clear the air between your organization and the MC. Oh yeah. Marilyn says, they talk about Darby a little bit. Remember Darby?
That was Henry Rollins.
Right. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, correct.
Who was the business leader? I can't remember that guy's name.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He wasn't actually a white supremacist. He was just...
But he was in with them.
Right.
I mean...
He was using them.
Yes.
But
correct.
In the end, they killed Darby.
Yes. Very, very correct. So what about he talks about Darby was a poser, says Marilyn. Of course, what about the slaughter at Gerber's Ranch? Remember that last season?
Was that with the barn where they were all going to go fight?
I think so. Or they ended up on Gerber's Ranch. That was not the barn. That was on his ranch. Remember they went down there on the pickup and the back of the pickup? No?
Boy, I'm missing it.
All right. No recollection.
It's in there somewhere. I can't get it out.
So basically, the way I understand it, like we say, Jax is trying to gain an alliance. He'll want to use it later. We got a little soundbite here, and this is where Jax is talking to him about returning to Stockton. So listen to this.
You can keep hating as much as you want. But when you get to Stockton, you should let your crew know that when push comes to shove and White needs a friend, they do best to reach out to the darkest hand in the yard.
Oh, man, dude.
Little leverage.
Yeah. Marilyn had an interesting look on his face, like he was buying it. Like,
yeah,
might need these guys.
Yeah.
So there you go. My prediction briefly is they're definitely hooking up. It's going to end bloody. And at some point, Jax is going to reach out to him and Marilyn's going to make a bigger appearance and something's going to go down between, of course, the skinheads.
You said it was going to end bloody in this show?
No,
that never happened. That would be something totally new.
Not going to happen, bro. All right. So you want to talk about any of this? D.A. Patterson meets Jax at prison. She sits down with him. Mm-hmm. Oh,
playing the motherly. See, she's not Gemma.
Right.
She cannot do as good of a job. She tries. I give her some love for that. Honey, mama, you're not Gemma. Jax ain't gonna talk. I mean, good for her.
Yeah. She tries to connect with him a little bit. We'll play a sound clip here in a second, but she's trying to connect with him, dude. And I think, I don't know, deep down, I think she believes he knows right from wrong is my understanding, from the way she plays the part. So I think she understands him and knows that he can go. He's on the fence. He can go one way or another.
I don't know. I didn't get that she was fishing for the broader, greater good of Jax. I think she was fishing to turn him.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's playing.
I think she wants him to do the right thing. Is that what you mean?
Well,
I think she wants that.
Yeah, but I think she was looking a little closer to her nose.
Well, let's listen to the sound clip and let's see what we got here.
I understand the pain you're in, son. The reason for your silence. I lost a son and a nephew to gang violence. I didn't want anyone arrested. I wanted them all dead. Heartless, cold bullets to the back of the head, just the way they killed my boy. That's a natural reaction. The desire for revenge. It's a part of grieving. The difference is, in my world, I knew that those violent desires would never become real. In yours, it's a very likely outcome. We couldn't tie you to either murder, parole violation, the gun wasn't fired, it was in the house. We're gonna let you go. Your mother's here to see you. She can take you home. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and until today, I have never said a word about my personal life to someone on the other side of this table.
So why me?
Because I needed help to connect with the man who did the right thing 10 days ago, who knows the importance of family, and that more violence will only destroy what's left of his.
Wow, what do you think after that? Any thoughts? No, go ahead.
I do. You know what? Kurt Sutter, I give him a lot of love. Because she's playing both ways. On one hand, she's looking to the future when he gets out. On the other hand, she's trying to get him to talk. Because if she can get him to talk, then she can get information. So she's shooting both ways. So I give Kurt some love for writing that. That's fairly intricate.
Yes.
In that scene.
Right. So, yeah, they make a little connection there. And, he actually speaks up because he was pretty silent until Why Me?
Yep, she got him to talk.
She did.
Yeah,
she got him to break.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's good DA work. Oh, yeah.
He only said like 5 words.
Right.
Man. But it's a start. All right, good enough.
So, you know what? There we go, guys. He's out of jail. We all know that from episode 2 and stuff. So, yeah, apparently just to tie that up real quick, they had him in custody. If you don't know, basically, my understanding, Oscar, is he was in custody based on some possible parole violations called because he was found in the house with Tara and the gun. Right. But then they found out that he wasn't, responsible for that. And the gun was in his house and whatever. But apparently that's what he was in jail for.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
And we figured that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling the audience because a lot of guys are, because I got some emails today. They love the podcast and they drive to work and stuff and like how we wrap a lot of this stuff up. So for the audience, if you didn't know, so I'm trying to wrap it up for the people that are.
I thought they would see that because he had the gun was on the floor and she walked in.
You would be surprised. I get emails all the time and guys are like, I did not get that. I didn't. You wrapped it up. So that's what we're going to try to do, obviously, is wrap it up for people. So that's why he was in jail on a suspected parole violation. He is now out. Okay, next scene. All right, Juicy.
Juicy.
That's
boy.
What we should call him because he's like a little kid.
He's like a teenage girl.
He's more of a Juicy than a Juice.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
If you look at him, but he does good because he makes us think that in his acting role. So they meet. Do you want to go over the scene? Wendy walks in the house. She's not expecting him. Do you remember this at all?
Yeah, I do. I just remember her. I remember the look on her face like, why are you here?
But before that, did you see her start looking through the cabinets and stuff?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Everything perfectly organized.
Right.
That's right. And didn't she look in the closet? Where did she look in? She looked in something else.
Yeah, she looked in the cabinet and all perfect. The cans. Juice has got some issues, man. I think he's got too much time on his hand. He's all OCD, obsessive compulsive.
A lot.
He went through the house and he stacked them like a grocery store, dude. The cans were all perfect. Yeah. They were all organized. And she's all right. So she's like, what the hell? Of course, Juice was in the house and she was very surprised. And Wendy was apparently, per Juice, and we all know that she was supposed to be gone for months.
Right.
Which is why we find out later Gemma set him up in her house because she's supposed to be in
gone.
treatment. Right.
Right.
And,
90 days, 9 days. That's close.
Close enough. She'll be fine. Most drug users never relapse.
Not at all. No, not at all. Especially not if you're hanging out with a bunch of bikers.
Right. All right. So Juice says they will kill him. So he lets her in on a little bit about the information. Doesn't tell her the whole stories, but basically the club's going to kill him if they find him, and tells Wendy, of course, not to say anything to Jax. She gives her word that she won't. So Jax is out of jail, and he hops in the old car with Gemma, and he's driving. You remember this scene, brother?
I don't remember this one.
All right, so no word on Juice. Yeah, so Jax is curious. You heard anything about Juice, and of course we know Gemma set him up at Wendy's house, and so she's lying already, obviously, again.
And they make Gemma and Juice odd bedfellows.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. That's a weird twist.
It's not all of a sudden, though. Here, get this. I was thinking about it while we were catching up on the episode before the podcast when we were watching it. Remember, go back to when Clay was around, and the only ally Clay had left, who was it?
Was Juice.
Thank you.
But
and so I know.
I don't see it.
But I just think there's some kind of bond still there that he was always there with Gemma and taking care of stuff. He was basically Clay's little bitch.
Yeah, but not for very long. So I don't know. I don't see the jump.
That's my call.
Because Juice's deal was Juice turned to Chibs.
Right.
At the end of season 6. And so all of a sudden now he's turned to Gemma. I'm like, or he has mommy issues.
I think he has. There you go. All right. Oscar straight up. Yep. That's a good one for you, dude. He does have mommy issues. So anyways, Jax is digging what's going on. You track down Juice, of course, Gemma. No. She tells him that the Tacoma chapter is still watching his apartment though. So apparently the Tacoma chapter is sitting on an apartment that Juice is not. But, all right. Gemma asks why Juice split. And she's obviously digging for info just a little bit on this scene. I saw, she's digging a little bit. Digging for info. And she says club shit. That's what she's looking at Jax, like trying to feel him. Do you know? Do you know about Tara's murder? Or do you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And is it club shit? And Jax says yeah. So it kind of appeases her,
right?
That it's just the old club or whatever the club.
But Gemma's got to know. I raised Jax.
Well, she wants to know because if he knows Juice is involved with killing Sheriff Eli and he knows that Gemma killed her, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a big deal. If they just want Juice because of other club shit, then she feels okay with it. Because
what I'm saying is
implicate her, right? Or did I miss it?
No, what I'm saying is she knows who she is,
right?
And she raised Jax,
right?
She's got to know his answer is deflecting.
Oh, sure, okay, I got you.
She's got to know that. She's got to know. It's got to worry her a little bit.
It probably does, but at least that answer gave her a little bit of okay.
Yeah, she's in the episode, she's appeased.
That's what I mean.
I'm looking beyond the episode.
Okay, right. Yeah. I'm just saying in this episode, she seems kind of appeased that it's nothing about Tara. It's some other club shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Then they hold hands.
Right. Then they hold hands. True.
Well, that's nice.
And, that's what a good son and loving mother that have full-time jobs and are a productive member of society and love each other.
That's what they do.
That's what they do, bro.
Mama, can we just hold hands? Please.
Oh, gosh. And of course, he wants to know about Tara's funeral, which he didn't go to because he was in jail.
He was in jail.
Nor, I guess they could have postponed it, but I don't know if he would have wanted to be there. And Gemma says the boys do not know what happened, just that, quote, his mommy's in heaven. That's what Abel believes. He's the older, right?
Yep.
Abel Thomas is the young one.
Yep.
Jack says he can't see the boys yet because, quote, needs to get clear. And he knows, get clear and knows what he needs to do, basically.
Which means I got to kill some people.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to be around the boys when I kill people.
But in the end of episode 2, he lays down and cries. We just got done watching an episode.
Wasn't that the start of episode 2? That was the start.
No, at the very end, after the whole debacle, he lays down with Abel and the music and the closing.
Oh, yeah.
And he lays down, he's got a tear coming out of his eye, so he actually decides to go see the boys.
Yeah.
But at this point in episode 1, he's not ready for that. He needed to do some killing.
We got off track there a little bit.
We're good at that.
That almost never happens.
We're good at that. And of course, Jax couldn't do it without you, Mom. I love you, says Jax, holding her hand.
Oh,
I love you too, sweetheart, says Gemma. All right. Tiggs, Chibs, Bobby, the Grim Bastards. Is it the Grim Bastards or
the Grim Bastards?
All right. I keep screwing that up. I keep putting in the notes the Grim Reapers.
They got the black cut, orange.
Yes. All right. The Black MC talk. All right. They go to talk to some black guys. And this is a spinoff from last season. Remember the Blue Impala that ran down some of the Grim Bastards crew?
Right.
They're still trying to follow up on that. So
that was a good scene. That was an awesome scene.
Let's play this.
All right.
Because it is awesome and it is great. Then we'll break it down just a little bit for you guys. But yeah, we got to listen to this one. All right, here we go.
Why don't you come ride with us, Flint? Yo, what's up? Oh, shit, that's right. You got no damn legs.
Really? Wow. I just thought he was like incredibly short, very small feet.
Yeah, and a big dick. That still smells like your mama's ass.
It's a nice tight ass though, huh? I've been up inside my mother's shitter so many times. She used to call me Little Alex Anima.
Dude, leave it to Tiggy.
He is so wrong on so many levels.
Oh, God. He doesn't even care about mama jokes, dude.
He doesn't.
So what we got here is the real quick is the SOA guys and the Grim Bastards are rolling up to this street gang. It's a black street gang. They think they're responsible for running down a couple of the Grim Bastards last season. And the one guy is there in a wheelchair. He's got no legs. And of course,
he's just a short guy with little
the P of the president of the Grim Bastards starts it and says, "Oh, that's right, you can't ride. You've got no legs." So they're trashing on each other, and they go on this and kind of talk to each other about what do you want. And the president of the Grim Bastards says, "I got one guy dead and two in critical condition because they got ran off the road by an old blue Impala," and he wants to know. For whatever reason, obviously, they tracked it back to this. Word on the street is the guy driving is with their street gang, this particular street gang. And that's what the president tells him, hey.
And that was never really developed in any of the episodes. I never saw it.
It was developed last season. But
no, I mean how they got to this guy.
Right. Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember how they got to this guy.
Not off the top of my head. So word on the street is that one of your guys out of your gang is driving the blue Impala. Of course, the guy in the wheelchair, the head of the street gang, says, no. Chibs gets impatient because Jax has called a meeting. This is when Jax is calling. He's out of jail.
Yeah, right.
And so at the same time, he's calling everybody, go and get your ass to the clubhouse. We need to have a meeting. The guy in the wheelchair says, Chibs gets impatient and Jax has called a meeting. So he shoots the guy in the knee. That
was an impressive shot.
It was.
Because he didn't line up and aim. He just went pow. And
hey,
there you
Hollywood, you can shoot any way you want.
I mean, I can shoot like that. I'm just saying for the average person.
Yes.
In a gang or something, that would be impressive.
In the heat of the moment, right.
When they're in the heat.
Exactly.
The moment, right.
Bobby pulls and so.
No, you got to set that up.
Yeah, set it up. You set it up.
Dude,
you set it up. You set it up, dude.
They go, Bobby walks off and grabs the chain.
He gets on his street glide.
And then he gets on. Didn't he have the RGS? He has the.
Maybe. The Rogue Glide special, right?
So they look at the guy and the chain, and the guy in the wheelchair looks at the chain, and they look at the guy in the wheelchair, and they look at the chain, and
that was
scene
great.
Is the guy, he's dragging down the street.
So they dragged the guy in the wheelchair down the street.
And what did they tell him? They said something to him.
Did they?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. So they pull that black guy down the wheelchair. That's going to come into play a little bit later because, actually, I'll just tell you now real quick. He ends up talking,
right?
Because then later we find out they did get him to speak by pulling him in his wheelchair. Right. We didn't know there. We're just like, okay, the scene ended, and we're like, how far did he pull him? I don't know.
It's like a tractor pull, but not.
So they get done with their ride, Gemma and Jax, and of course they end up in downtown Charming. This is when Gemma and Wendy.
Right.
Sorry, my bad. I think I told the audience.
Were they going to pick up Jax?
No, Jax got dumped off at the clubhouse, and Wendy happened to be, and so Gemma
she was giving her a ride.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Right. My bad, audience. I'm sorry if that was confusing. So Gemma and Wendy meet downtown, just out of the blue, and Wendy says, "Well, I'll be staying with you now since you let Juice have my place." Just calls her on it. Gemma's concerned, of course, and says, "What did he tell you?" Referring to Juice, of course. And remember that Jax was just asking Gemma. I want to tell the audience. Remember, Jax was just in the truck asking Gemma if anyone had seen Jackson. She said no. Lying big time.
Gemma.
I can't believe she lies like that. It was totally out of her character.
It was her first time. Yeah. She got it right for her first time.
Yeah. And so Gemma says the club wants to kill him. That's what Wendy tells Gemma. She's like, he says, she's digging a little bit too. Like, what the F?
Why?
And Gemma says enough bloodshed in the club for now. That's why apparently she's putting Juice up. She makes an excuse to Wendy. All right, so here's where Jack shows up at this time. Just getting done, Gemma and Wendy talking. Jack shows up and talks to Wendy, and she wants to help with the boys.
Of course.
There you go.
Because they need someone.
Mhm.
Right.
And she's trying to get his wiener.
Oh, yes, she
I'm
is.
just saying.
Yeah. The boys and the boys.
Right.
Right.
Oh, geez.
Well,
there we go. That's what did do you want to go on and talk about what Jax and Wendy talked about?
You're there, dude.
Thought you were in rehab, right? So Jax is concerned. She wants to help with the boys, but I thought you were in rehab. Well, she's not. She made it 9 days or whatever out of 90.
It's a long time.
She just wants to make sure Abel and Thomas are safe. All right. And Jax is like, he thinks about it.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
And he's like, you know what? Work it out with Gemma. So
Yeah.
he's in on it. He's good with it. But
Well, he's distracted. He's not really seeing the bigger picture.
But he could have said, no, don't work it out with Gemma. You're not seeing him, right?
Because
but he's willing to let
he sees the open door too.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Small steps at first.
He's had that though.
Yeah, but he'll come back.
He's had it.
He is not without the whole time. And he almost went back to it early on. Was that season 3?
Yeah, true.
Because she was clean for a while and he was going back, and now he's going to go back again.
I'm bowing down. I think Lurch and Chewie are right.
Yeah.
And she's going back. I got nothing.
Although episode 2, I have some comments when we get there.
All right.
Wendy.
Sweet. All right. Do you want to talk about Mayans and Nero meeting? Alvarez is the president of the Mayans. If you guys forgot, we'll just throw some names out there. They sit down, of course.
Nero's being very diplomatic, setting things up. They have a connection at the port. They can move stuff on the water instead of the highway.
Who's their connection at the port? Do you remember?
It was
Borosky.
Yeah, gosh, I never remember his name.
That's all right. Because we're going to get into that. So sorry. Go ahead.
Moving stuff on the water instead of the highway is a way better.
Yes,
way better trip.
And they agree with that. They're like, yeah, we're going to move our crap on the water instead of that highway.
And Nero's kind of setting up to me with Berosky. Anything in and out of the port. What's that guy's name? The Prez. I can't remember his name.
Alvarez.
New. No, that wasn't Alvarez.
No,
the other guy.
No, that's in episode 2. It's another guy. He's the.
Was it Alvarez?
I have notes on it, but he is Alvarez here
in the episode 1.
Maybe not.
I thought it was the other guy.
It was Alvarez. No, the other guy is he's the president of the Oakland chapter.
Oh, okay. I was confused on that.
And so
because he's got a big part.
It's a very you bring up a great point because it's something that I was thinking about. He does. He's being brought in a lot more than Alvarez. Right. Alvarez used to be the only Mayan president you saw.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're seeing this guy, and I don't have his name off the top of my head, but I did learn he's the president of the Oakland chapter of the Mayans.
They're moving. He's Kurt's moving him in.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He is, and I don't know if that's because Alvarez is going out or just there's a reason for that.
Alvarez made a lot of dumb moves, like in season 5, and he did in season 6.
He did.
Yeah.
So they're doing something there. You're right. So go ahead with that. You're absolutely right.
So Nero reminds everyone that, or reminds these guys they need to speak with Berosky to move anything in and out of the port.
And Berosky, for the audience, reminder, he's the old ex-cop.
Yep.
Retired. He's dirty. He controls the port. He's the shot caller.
The president says Berosky's just like all those. It's just like all those dirty cops. He's greedy too, and we'll see that a little bit in episode 2. But they'll give him a piece for now. And at some point, that's Borosky's going to push too far.
Yeah,
he's
going to
be
talking
too
about.
greedy.
That's what he's saying. He goes, "Yeah, we'll deal with him now, but at some point,
they'll see
he's going to push
that's
too
right.
far."
I remember that because they're going to see him coming. And now it makes perfect sense with episode 2. I got it.
There you go. You putting it together now?
Yeah, I'm
getting the little puzzle pieces. I know that's how it works for me too, dude.
The little wheels are starting to turn.
Yeah, I see smoke. I see smoke.
Yeah, well, that was my kitchen.
So, of course, Nero learns Jax is free at this point, and he heads out from the meeting with the Mayans. Nero, we both agree from both episode 1 and episode 2 of season 7 is that Nero is trying to he's trying to keep war out. He doesn't want bloodshed.
But why? Why? I don't understand.
Well, he says he don't want it on his streets. He cares about his community. I know it seems funny.
Oh, will you stop
Just listen, dude. He does. Because that's what he says. He doesn't want this war going on in his body, dude.
Dude, everyone in the show says what they mean.
Right.
It's all about truth and honesty. Starting with Gemma.
Yes. So
I don't buy that. Well, but all right.
For show purposes, that's not what I believe. That's what he believes. Because he actually said that. He doesn't want the war on his streets and his hood and whatever he can do to keep it out of his hood. He's good. He's got familia in the hood, dude.
Not really. He's got his kid and that's it. And his ex, who's a junkie.
That's familia.
Yeah, but his kid's like at the ranch or whatever.
We agree, though. He's trying to be the politician and keep things. All right.
Definitely.
They meet at the table, dude. This was pretty intense little scene, man.
Yeah, it was.
What do you remember about this? Anything? All right.
I remember the scene in general.
Yeah, Jax does give a speech. All right, I got a sound clip. So this is great. So let's play the sound clip real quick. We'll get through that and then we'll break it down for you guys. All right, here you go.
I never really wanted this chair. I guess some part of me knew it would happen, but I always dreaded the weight of it, the responsibility. Truth is, I can barely make the right choices for myself. I've been trying to take this club in a direction I thought made sense to move us away from all the outlaw shit. That hasn't worked. I think some part of me was trying to buy back all the bad shit I've done. For the people I've hurt. That's a false pardon. It's dangerous and it's selfish. JT did the same thing. And those choices took away everything from my old man. His family and his patch.
So we'll pause that real quick. So Jax is reflecting here, big time, talking about JT, his dad, John Teller. John Teller. So this is all coming back to him in his head that, this is how my dad went down.
History is repeating itself.
Which happens.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is what they say.
Yeah, but if you follow the whole storyline.
I agree. I'm not saying it's going to.
Gemma killed John.
Right.
And so,
yeah.
Is Jack saying that someone in the club is going to kill him?
Boy.
I don't know.
Boy. It's interesting, though.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. He's definitely in a different place right here. Let's pick back up.
I already lost the woman I love. I'm not going to lose my club.
So, to me, that says, he's already lost the woman he loved. The only family he's got left is his club. And so he's got nothing left to fall back on.
And no reason to stay legit.
Right. Not like he has a job.
And you guys talked about that. Well, he has a job. Right. You guys talked about him. He was read JT's memoirs, and then he was writing his own.
Right.
And so now he's like, he's saying, "Oh, JT was trying to make the club go legit, and that killed him." I don't know. I see a little bit of Gemma in Jax right now. He's setting up his vendetta.
Oh well, yeah.
He's getting the club to buy off on his vendetta.
And I said it in the first episode. I don't agree. I think he's using the club for his own vendetta.
That's it. I agree. I'm there with you now. After hearing that again, I'm there.
Thank you. Here we go.
What he's doing.
Pick back up.
For me to move forward with all the things we now have to do, I need to know this table has no doubts, no mistrust, that every single one of you would kill or die for the man next to him. And if you don't feel that way, now's the time to speak up.
We're all in, brother. We love you. We trust you. Tell us what you need.
So that was Chibs at the end, telling him that, he's always been really loyal.
Oh, yeah.
Club member. He's really never ventured off, so to speak. Yeah. But he's telling him we're in. And I think he looks at everybody. If you see the scene,
right?
He's talking for everybody and nobody else. Powerful scene because he doesn't need to say anything.
And Jax
they're in.
Leans over to Chibs and says, "I need to kill everyone now."
Right.
He doesn't really, but
right. But basically,
you're right. See, you're right. I'm totally on board with that.
There you go.
That was a Gemma speech.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly. Getting everybody on board.
Yeah.
Making sure they're in line. Let's break this down. There's a lot more conversation when they're at the table here. So here's where things are going, guys. We're going to put this in a nice little wrapper for you because I needed to watch this scene like 3-4 times to really understand everything. Not the clip we just played, but exactly what was said in this meeting. So here's what happens. Jax gets briefed, basically.
Yeah.
By the club, playing catch up.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over some of this?
Go for it. You're doing a good job.
All right. So Jax says, who are our alliances? He wants to know right now since I've been in jail. Bobby, of course, speaks up, says the Irish are getting back up with Black. So basically the Irish are getting back with Marks, right? Yeah.
He's the only one.
Right. Yeah. So getting back with August Marks. Connor is here to handle the transition. So Connor, obviously, if you guys don't remember, he's the Irish. He's one of the left alive Irish guys.
They put him in a good spot, and he knows where his spot came from.
Absolutely, and he's using that. So Connor is here to handle the transition because they are going to start trying to make peace and work together again, the Irish and the Black. Because if you remember last season in 6, at the end, the gun trade went back to black. It went back to August Marks's crew. So they handle internal family beef for Kakusa. That's what Bobby tells them they handle, or somebody did at the table. We handled an internal beef for Kakusa, so the Italians are now in debt to them.
I think Bobby, wasn't that Bobby?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And so here we go. The Italians are in debt to them. At what point, you got to know the Italians are going to pop up in season 7 here.
Where did they come from? Did I miss them somewhere?
Apparently I did too. So
wow.
If you listeners are out there hearing this, make some comments. It's lawabidingbiker.com/SOA09 is where you can get all the show notes and where you can comment and refer back to. I'll have a blog there along with the...
there hasn't even been any spaghetti in the TV show.
That's what I'm saying.
Where did the Italians come from?
I don't know, dude. But anyways, they did. And so I fully expect the Italians are going to show back up at some point. So the Grim Bastards basically told them that one of their members and a couple prospects got run down. So they're relaying this to Jack, who's at the head of the table. Hey, the Grim Bastards came to us. This is what they told us, that they got run down. Of course, one of their members is dead and 2 prospects barely hanging on at this point. The Grim Bastards did find out that it is one of Flint's crew. And Flint is the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I put that together, but yeah. So with the street gang, the guy that they drug with the chain later.
Tig says, well, we kind of dragged it out of him. Go, Tig, you weirdo.
It was. We kind of drug it out of him. All right. There we go.
Well, remember back, because things were on shaky ground with the Grim Bastards, because they shot, what's the president's name? They shot his nephew. Because his nephew was one of the guys that killed Opie.
Mm-hmm. Good call.
And so I remember that from the table conversation. Jax is like, we need to get back with the Grim Bastards because they've been allies the whole time.
Right. Very good. So apparently this Flint guy, and I told you this would come back up, guys. Here's where they tell Jax, hey, we drug him, whatever, drag it out of him. But they find out that Flint did end up giving, after being drugged, he gave the owner of the cars, he gave the name owner of the car to the blue Impala. So there you go. So now they know the owner of it's an 82 Impala, and Tig says it belongs to a hood rat, which probably is some tie to Flint's crew.
True.
Is what I'm thinking. So, all right. So Jax talks about, the meeting with Tully. Okay. It's Tully.
That's right.
I did have it in here. That's Marilyn Manson, guys. His name is Tully. So if we bring him back up throughout the season, I got to remember that Tully is the name of Marilyn Manson. So he talks about his little sit down in jail with him, says he's number 3 in the Brotherhood now. So Toll is, out of the whole, I assume the whole Aryan Nation, he's number 3.
California Aryan Nation, I guess.
Yeah, right. He's the number 3 shot caller. So Bobby says when he gets to Stockton, he's going to be calling the shots from Fresno to Portland. So he's got some serious pull.
Right.
Fresno to Portland, that's going to be his area. So that's why Jack sat down with him. Obviously, he's going to have some serious pull. Jack says he didn't give him much, but he thinks he cleaned things up. I think I cleaned it up is what he said. And I think what he means by that, obviously, is
he made
ties.
Right.
All right. He may want a favor or 2 in the future, Jack says, but for now, I think we're okay with the white, which is the Aryan Nation. There you go. Don't forget, guys, real quick, if you want to, get all your audio gear, your video gear, cameras. I know all you bikeaholics out there. We take a lot of pictures, all that kind of stuff. I found an awesome place. It's B&H Photo. You want to support us? As Lurch would say, puts a few shekels in our, throw us a few shekels, puts a little gas in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep taking this thing on down the road. They do cover it all, guys. Photography, video, computers, audio, TVs, and more. Most of the time, they have better prices than Amazon, guys. That's right. All this, the audio gear we use for this podcast is from B&H. If you want to support us, you can go to lawabidingbiker.com/B, the word and H, B and H. That's right. No additional cost to you. We do get a small commission for each sale. That can help us out. So if you guys ever buy techies type stuff, just think B&H. All right. So they're bidding. Apparently, the rest of the meeting is they're bidding to rebuild the clubhouse. So they're going to, at some point this season, the clubhouse is going to be rebuilt because they're still in that, ice cream shop or whatever it is.
Ice cream shop is awesome.
The other thing they talk about is Diosa is picking up. That's their escort type. Remember Diosa?
Didn't they rebuild it?
I don't know. You tell me.
What happened to it? I thought, did he get shot up?
It did. It got bombed.
Yeah.
Remember, that was it did get bombed at some point. But business at Dios is picking back up. The porn studio is almost ready.
Oh, the porn studio got blown up.
No, that
was it Diosa?
Well, I did notes exactly what they said. So those are actual quotes, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the porn studio is almost ready. Oh, yeah. That's the music straight up when you walk in the porn studio, dude. That's right.
70s music will be forever known as porn music.
It will, dude. All right, so there we go. Here we go. Money shot. Lila is tracking down all the Cara girls, they say. So they're trying to track down the Cara girls to work in this porn studio. Oh, this is great. They're going to call it, this was funny at the table, I think it was Tig or Bobby or something. It's called Red Woody Incorporated.
That's what I'm talking about.
Love it, dude. All right, so we played the soundbite. Obviously, Jack gives his big speech at the end of all that, which we already played for you guys. All right, let's move on. Gemma meets Juice at Wendy's house, so she goes back there. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Juice just can't keep his mouth shut.
He can't. He's like a child, dude.
Gemma gets mad at him because he talked to Wendy and told Wendy that he was, the club's going to kill him. And then Gemma goes on and tries to tell Juice, hey, you probably need to get out of here. Like Idaho or Montana or somewhere there's no charter. Gemma says she's going to get Juice some money. And this is classic Gemma. They had to kill Tara because they were She had to kill Tara because she was protecting the club. Classic Gemma. Keeping Juice on the hook. I'm not a mean bitch. I'm actually protecting the club and my son. And then Juice tells her, hey, by the way, Jax was going to turn himself in. And Gemma says, I didn't know that.
Right. That was funny.
That was.
Because Juice was all like, okay, I get your twisted lies, but you do know Jax was going to turn himself in.
Yeah. And then, so Gemma's telling Juice that if Jax finds out that he's going to lose his mom.
Yeah. Basically.
Was that at the end of their little conversation?
Yeah. If Jax finds out, not only he already lost his wife, she says, but he's also going to lose his mother. So, basically she's telling Juice, you got to, we never talk about this. We're done. Okay, because if he loses, that's her little twisted world. Is he's already lost his wife. If she finds out, then he's going to lose his mother.
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh,
and
she is awesome.
She believes she's the only one holding the family together.
Kurt Sutter she is by far the best character.
You think so?
I think so.
All right.
She's got the most interesting twists.
She does.
And how she weaves the world together.
She's the one you want to hate the most because she causes
really
everything.
And then you love her the next minute.
Right. I don't know about that.
She's got me all twisted.
Yeah.
I love Gemma.
So Gemma says she is going to protect Jax and the boys. That's how she looks at Jax. That's what she says. She goes, that's how I look Jax in the eyes, and how she talks to him about Tara. Because Juice is wondering how, he asked her, how do you look her in the eyes and talk to her? He goes, well, she says, because I look Jax in the eyes and I'm
protecting my boys.
That's all it is to her.
Right.
That's why I say my prediction, she's going to commit suicide because Jax, once he finds out, is going to deny her access to the boys.
Oh,
that's what I said on
the
preseason. She's justifying her actions. I'm trying to make sense of this. Says better. I don't. She doesn't want to know. Okay, I got it, guys. So she doesn't want to know. She doesn't know exactly why. She knows it's not because of the murder, but there's bad stuff from last season where Juice talked to Nero about Jackson stuff, and so she says it's better that I don't know, and then she tells him that he helped her. Juice helped her out, so she's going to help him. That's what it comes down to. So,
right, that's right.
Yep. All right. So Nero and Jax meet, and Nero hugs him. Did you notice this, dude? Nero and Jax meet, and Nero goes up and gives Jax a big hug. Jax does not hug him back, dude. It was very cold.
Uh-oh.
I made note of it. Jax was just standing there, and Nero gave him a big hug, and I'm like, oh.
See, Nero knows. That's why he's doing his thing.
Yep. Or remember, Nero and him have a little bit of bad blood from last season. Just, some tension. Some tension.
Okay, some tension. Got it. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So he says that you want to go through this. They talk a little bit, says he's sorry about Tara and all that, and then they get into some business there.
He digs a little bit, and Jax tells him, Nero's digging a little bit for about who killed Tara. Jax says he's got nothing from the sheriffs.
Typical. Freaking sheriffs can't investigate a case.
Oh.
And we're not going there, dude. We're not going there.
I was going to say something nice like that's a Gemma line right there.
Right. Go ahead.
Anyway, moving on. Nero tells Jax he's been sitting down with the Chinese and the Mayans. He doesn't want a war on his old turf.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
this is what this is all about, dude.
Just what he says, but that's not what he's really doing.
Dude.
He tells Jax he doesn't want Oaktown to turn into some kind of combat zone.
Oakland.
Jax says he will handle Dios for now, and he wants Nero to focus on Colette's place.
Yeah, so Jax wants him, he says he's going to handle Diosa, right?
Right.
Right, and he wants him to, remember Colette's place, the massage place? That's the massage place where they go to and, and they have Colette, endings. Jax screwed her a couple times, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. While he was with Tara.
Dirty. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yep, Jax says it keeps potential conflicts out of our business.
See,
That's a
he
quote.
smells something coming from Nero.
Until the two of them are certain how this all plays out. That's were his words.
Yeah.
This keeps, potential conflicts out of our business until we are certain how this all plays out.
Because who told Jax that Nero was sitting down with the Mayans?
I don't know.
Someone in that episode told Jax they saw Nero sitting down with the Mayans.
Oh, did he? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, I believe you. All right. So Nero says Jax should meet with the Chinese. This was interesting, which is Lin. And for all you listeners, that's Lin. They call him Henry sometimes. He's the head of the Chinese. And Alvarez, in the next couple days, he should sit down. Jax immediately says, I don't want to wait. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Jax is
good play on Jax's part.
Down to business.
Well, and Nero was kind of feeling him out to see how that was going to go.
Right.
Jax ain't wasting any time.
No,
Let's
exactly.
get right to it.
Nero's like, we can give it some time.
His name is Henry Lin.
Correct.
Oh, you said they call him Henry. Yeah,
they do.
His first name is Henry.
Right, but they always talk, also for the listeners, they also call them the triads, which is the way I understand is the whole family. Like it's the name of the mafia or whatever they are.
It's the Chinese, yeah.
Right, the triads.
Right.
Because they use that a lot. They call him Henry, they call him Lin, and they call him the triads.
Well, see, I didn't get that Lin was a triad. I don't think Lin, I don't think he's a triad.
Wrong? Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong.
I got like that Lin is to the triads like Jax is to the Grim Bastards.
Okay, well, the triad's just another like Chinese mafia?
No, the triads are the Chinese mafia, but I didn't get that Lin was part of the triads.
Okay, he's just associated.
He was using the triads.
Oh, there
he's
you
like
go.
Their muscle.
Oh.
Or the triads are Lin's muscle.
There you go. I believe you.
That's how I got that.
I've always been a little bit confused about that. There you go.
Yeah,
Oscar in the house.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they want to do it now. Jax and Nero and Alvarez meet. Alvarez, the president of the Mayans, of course. Nero, the trying to keep the peace, the mediator, and then Jax.
Jax throws out the, he sees it's not going so good, so he throws out the, hey, family party tonight.
Right.
There's going to be naked girls and Mayans and Lins and SOA and Nero.
Yep.
Come on over.
He wants a big, huge, Jax wants to put together a big, huge party, an interagency type party.
Interagency.
There you go.
Collaboration
and networking conference.
And Nero sets that up pretty well because he's like, no, it'll be a good time.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, true. Because if I remember right, I don't even have it in the notes, but I remember Lin going, the last time we went in a warehouse,
everyone got
killed.
That's right.
Right.
And Nero's like, no.
It's just a networking conference.
It'll be a good time. Right. Yeah, it's a coalition.
And so Lin says, yeah, we'll think about coming over. All right, so the DA meets with Unser. Do you want to talk about this, dude? This was interesting because it plays in episode 2. This plays a big part. This is where they talk about the consultant type stuff,
and
right?
And so the DA's like, all right, we got to get a handle on this.
DA Patterson, right?
We'll bring Unser back. How are we going to bring Unser back? She tells him, whatever you did before with the Sons worked. And Unser tells her, hey, that's ancient history. And then I didn't catch the name until we saw it on episode 2, but she says, hey, there's a new sheriff coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And she did organized crime.
Right.
And so is she trying to get...
She spent 6 years or something with organized crime in Stockton. She's taken over Eli's place, which Sheriff Eli is the one that got killed.
Right. Is she trying to protect the club a little bit by having Unser involved?
No, I think Unser is, whether you like Unser or not, he gets really involved in episode 2, which we'll talk about in a bit. He is, whether you like Unser or not, dude, he knows everything. He was the charming police chief, and she's not stupid. She worked organized crime for 6 years in Stockton. He is a wealth of knowledge.
But see, I took that the other way. Because why does she tell him whatever you did worked? And then she tells Unser, hey, this gal spent 6 years in organized crime. Like,
because I think she just wants to use him. for
You
his
think?
information. That's my take. I'm not saying that's right.
But if you look back to her conversation with Jax in jail and the whole do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
if she believes Jax will do the right thing.
I don't think she believes that.
That's what I said. You said, no, she's trying to do the right thing.
No, I said it's 50-50. I think she, maybe remind me. No, I don't.
No, I said it was
I'm
50-50.
not saying Jax is going to do the right thing. I just think that's what I just think D.A. Patterson believes he knows the difference between right and wrong.
That's what I mean. So she bringing Unser in. I got the impression she was bringing Unser in to buffer this new sheriff
that's a good take,
and
yeah.
the club.
Well, absolutely.
And
Could
maybe
possibly be, yeah.
Steer the club a little bit. Because why would she tell him that? Whatever you did before worked.
I don't know.
Because she knew Unser was in bed with the club.
Right.
So
yeah, I know. And that's why he has good information for her. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see play out.
Yeah.
You brings up some good points. Absolutely. I think she's just basically using her resources to the fullest. And I think she knows that she can sway some things by giving him certain bits and pieces. I think she's going to use them. I think she's going to use them like a little bitch.
CIA, counterintelligence.
Thank you.
That's
what I think.
Okay, no, all right.
I think
see
she's
that.
pretty bright. I think she's just going to use Unser and keep him where she needs him.
She's like a black Gemma, maybe.
There you go. Yeah.
Jax has got 2 mommies.
And she's got a badge.
Oh.
Who is she, by the way? You remember?
She is from, she was in the Shield.
Athena Gish, right? I've got it here. Let me pull this up real quick. It's Annabeth Gish. Annabeth Gish, and she plays apparently in The Bridge, which I don't watch, but it's some sort of TV series, The Bridge. So Annabeth Gish is the new sheriff.
I was talking about the D.A. Patterson. She was in the Shield and something else.
Yes,
What was
you're
she in
right.
before that?
We got our wires crossed there.
Yeah, that happens.
I don't remember. But anyways, back on track. So they meet, the DA meets with Unser, right?
Right.
Okay. Pick it up where we left off. Do you remember? And I was ahead of myself because I get where the confusion was. I was a little bit ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Because the DA met with Unser. Unser later meets in episode 2 with the sheriff.
Yeah, but the DA meets with Unser, and that's when she tries to get him on board.
Totally. I was just, in my mind, I was a little bit ahead of myself.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right. All right. Because that's where we got the confusion. What's the DA's name and what's the sheriff?
Right. Yeah. So Patterson tells Unser that she thinks Unser would be good for Charming. Unser tells D.A. Patterson that she could benefit from, or he's talking about the new sheriff could bennet from history lesson.
Correct. She could that's what DA says. She could really benefit from a history lesson from you.
And then Unser says, what exactly are you asking me? And then D.A. Patterson wants Unser to help her
with the MC.
With the MC, right.
Absolutely.
And then basically says, there's going to be some more death, which is new for the show. But
after Tara's death, she says the war that is brewing in Oakland is going to get bloody. Oh, yeah.
Is Charming a real city?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never actually looked it up. Mayberry.
It is.
That's what everybody seems to call it. So Jax and Nero meet with Alvarez, the Mayans, and the Chinese. So Nero, Alvarez, and Lin. So the Mayans, SOA, and the Chinese. Nero says if they keep up fighting for turf, then nobody wins and it hurts the biznaz. Jack says he knows that handling the gun trade off to Mark's upset his balance. So basically Jack says, I know handing that gun trade off and all that upset the balance. So he's basically trying to suck Lin in here. I was so focused on moving us away from the Irish that I didn't give a shit about the blowback. That was a mistake.
And this is tying in now I see the tie into episode 2.
Exactly. So we're going to breeze through episode 2 because a lot of it is very specific to episode 2. But yeah. So he and Jack says that was a mistake. All right. Jax tells them that for better or for worse, he has a relationship with Berosky. Of course, guys, remember Berosky controls the port. He's the retired dirty cop. If they bump up against him at the port, he can help. Or he can at least look the other way. Jack says, okay, guys, remember that Alvarez wants to move stuff on the water instead of the highway.
Right.
Coming together.
Right. Yep.
Earlier that meeting, they want to move stuff in here. They're telling him, hey, I got to connect. It's Berosky and we can help you out. He's trying to make friends. Jack tells the Chinese he is tight with Connor Malone, again, the Irish head right now, who is the boots on the ground for the Irish.
The gun connection.
The gun connect. He can't get them any of the business back that he gave to Black. So Jack says, hey, I can't give you any of that business. I know we gave it to Black, but I can get you access to the Irish guns that he doesn't currently have. So he's basically telling them, I can get you some guns back. I can't get you all the ones that are going to Mark's, but I can get you some other guns. At the very least, you can increase your business to your customers outside of San Juan, which is where they're located right now. Lin says it's a start.
Yeah. Like, all right. What? So is Mark's running the 49ers then?
Yeah, he's the head of the black. Yep.
Well, see,
the Niners.
Yeah. Oh, the Niners. That's
Right.
what the 49ers.
Right, that's a football team.
Oh, yeah. Because Seattle beat them, I thought.
Right.
He is the head of the Niners.
Yeah.
I thought it was a separate organization because
that's my understanding. He took it over and he got he's the big head guy, the gun king right now. Jax meets with the Grim Bastards and the Grim Bastards who are out with the unknown Blue Impala. They just show up, remember?
Right.
They see the Blue Impala. They don't run they don't
do anything.
They just
it.
think that is the Impala that they're looking for.
Right.
They all gear up. Chibs says, we don't know. It's this part of town. Chibs actually shows a little bit of common sense for once.
Finally.
And it's like, how do we know this is the right one? And blah, blah, blah. So Bobby is the same. Bobby actually agrees with Chibs and said it could be an ambush of Flint's crew. So they're thinking, hey, this is a setup. They set it here. They want us to find it. It's going to be. So there's some thinking going on.
A little bit.
Jax is freaking crazy. He doesn't have a vision.
Spur of the moment.
Oscar, Jax doesn't have a vision anymore. He only sees what's right in front of him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know where I got that.
Confucius says, and Jack says, anyone want to find out? He basically says, shut up. I'm going. I don't give a rat's ass what happens. Bobby and Chibs look at each other in question. You can tell, but they go with it anyways, which makes them fools. Right? Comes back to the meeting at the table. Are you with me?
There you go.
Are you willing to kill for me?
Perfect. Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Very good look at that. So they head over to the apartment with the guns, go inside. Of course, there's the good old porn music playing, brother. Do you want to talk about this, dude? What do they find? Oh, just come on, dude.
This scene was so wrong.
Yeah. Typical Kurt Sutter
Holy
scene,
cow.
dude.
So it was a little white guy and he was going to town on this gal.
What?
Wasn't it? It was the other way around.
No, it was, dude. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, it was right. That's right. And then, what is it?
There was porn music playing in the background. You remember that?
Yeah,
When they walk in, it was all the chica chica.
Kind of pans out and finds out that the black guy's going to town and the white guy is going to town and the gal and there's a black guy filming.
Yes.
And then they find out, they kill some people and they find out.
They kill them all, right?
Yeah, but not before they find out that the dude filming and the two black dudes are both pastors, right?
Yes. They're both pastors. One's an associate pastor and one's the head pastor at a local church. So let me get this straight.
How does Kurt say
There's a chick. One guy's going to town eating her.
Yep.
And then there's another guy taking it, putting it in his butt.
Yep.
And there's a black guy filming.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
That is
This show's over.
Insane.
This show's over. That's Kurt Sutter's just creepy mind, dude. Yeah. So talk about that a little bit more, though. Before that scene ends, what do you remember anything?
And I just remember they kill everyone and they go, oh, oops.
Yeah, and I do remember that there was one guy still alive, I think with the black guy that was filming, and Jax walks up in cold blood and just pops him right in the head.
Yeah, because that's who they got the info from.
Right.
And then, didn't he say, I'm a pastor or something? Because how else did they get that info?
They got it out of his wallet. Yeah, they were pulling wallets, dude.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and what's Jax going to do? They just killed these people. He has to kill the last guy.
But the funny thing was Jax shot him, and then he looks at everybody. He's like, shrugged his shoulders, dude. Like,
whatever. It's what
I'm
we do.
Crazy.
Right.
I'm crazy. I'm a crazy psychopath.
I got free time, and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So there you go. That was a kind of so obviously the wrong people, not the blue Impala they were looking for, and Chibs and Bobby were right, but they don't make an issue of it.
Nah, whatever.
They go with it.
Following the boss.
Jax tells Quinn, which is a huge guy, that huge white guy in the club. You know who I'm talking about?
The long-haired guy.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, that big, huge guy in the SOA, Sons of Anarchy club, in Jax's chapter, that huge guy, his name is Quinn. They don't say it often, but he tells him, wait till it's dark and bury these dead people that were having the sex extravaganza of sorts. He tells him to bury them in marked graves in the woods. Shallow, though.
Right.
So he wants them to be found.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if they're missing,
oh yeah, right. Because it brings heat on the club if they're missing. It brings more heat. The police look into it. It's a big news thing. If they just find the bodies, right?
Yeah, then
I get it.
You'd think they find the bodies, the murder, but if they're missing, I think it's a big deal in the media.
It gets more attention.
Right. Because they're all missing individually. They don't connect them, but if they put them all together and then they do autopsies and find semen and they connect the three, then all of a sudden it's no longer a big media event.
Very true. Good point. The grim president of the Grim Bastards says his table is shrinking and he doesn't know how much longer. He tells this Jack in private. He goes, dude, my table's shrinking. I don't know how much longer I can hold this charter. He needs to find the guy who killed his crew, basically the driver of that blue Impala.
Right.
To have any legitimacy as a president of the Grim Bastards, he needs to put wraps
on that. Right.
All right. So Jack says he will find the OG. Oh, Jack does tell him he won't let him fold. Basically, Jack says, I won't let you lose your president position.
Right.
So Jack says, that's not going to happen. And right after that, Jack says, I've got you by the balls. I've got you by the short curlies. You know what? I'm going to need a little favor from you tonight. And the Grim president, of course, is begging to stay as president of his club. I will do anything.
Amen to that.
Desperate, dude. Desperate times, desperate measures.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
And they come back in and somebody tells Jax, hey, by the way, that blue Impala is registered to the church. So maybe we should have checked that. Yeah. So he finds out, it was registered to the church. All right. Wendy goes back to her apartment and Juice is there. Do you want to talk about this, Oscar?
Wendy tells Juice he can stay for a little while till he figures things out. Says she talked to Gemma.
Unser's at the door knocking at this time. It's my ride.
This was good because Unser shows up and then he starts kind of poking around.
Mm-hmm.
He opens the grocery bag and then he opens the cabins too.
Yes.
And he goes, this is not a junkie's house.
No, he's used to seeing, he's like, Wendy's a slob.
Right. And, and he starts thinking the wheels are turning to Unser. Juice runs into the back bedroom to hide. Wendy lets Unser in and then he goes through the stuff. Oh, that's right. Because Juice goes to get Wendy's coat out of the closet and sees the bag with the Reaper.
Unser goes to get
Right. Juice is hiding. Unser goes to get Wendy's coat and sees the Reaper or the bag with the Reaper on it. Now Unser's going, uh-oh, what's going on? And of course, he doesn't say anything to Wendy because no one tells the truth and no one's forthcoming. That would be wrong. But Unser might be a little curious.
Oh, because he's a cop. Dude, yeah. He's got cop in his blood.
You know what they say about curiosity and the cat?
Yes.
Right.
Killed the cat. All right. So, Unser is suspicious. So the party, they moved to the same party at the Red Woody Incorporated, the porno place. Everybody's there. Chibs and Connor. The Irish trying to convince him to talk with Lin. So Chibs is saying, hey, just go talk to him, Connor. Talk with Lin. Connor's concerned if Jack's cleared it with Marks. Connor decides to talk with the Chinese anyways. Connor, remember, is from the Irish. They meet, they drink. Jax tells Grim Bastards presidents there's that one single Chinese guy sitting there. Gemma talks to him a little bit, the big dude.
Yep.
And so Jax tells the Grim Bastards president, who owes him now and was willing to do anything, to follow that Chinese guy sitting by himself when he leaves. He needs him alive. Take him down, he tells him. That's the orders.
That's what, because I remember, Jax, I need to know what this is about. Like, I'll do anything for you. But not blindly.
Oh, yeah, right. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then Jax tells him, hey, guess what Gemma saw?
Yeah.
Oh, Gemma saw a Chinese guy leaving the house the night the terror was killed.
Yep. And then she walks up, didn't she, and tells him herself. Jax basically says, tell her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And so she tells the Grim Reaper president, or the Grim Bastards president, he was there the night of the murder. Basically says all but he's the murderer.
Right.
All right. Oh, gets bad. So Unser goes back. He goes back to Wendy's house after nobody's there, and he finds Juice's bag and his vest in the closet. Juice comes up behind and puts the gun at his head. The Glock cocks, of course.
Do
you notice my note?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay, you guys, real quick, the Glocks don't make a cocking sound, okay? They don't have an external hammer.
There's no hammer.
It's
not a revolver. It's not a SIG. It's a Glock.
Yes. It has an internal type function. But anyways,
that's awesome because that happens all the time.
Oh, we hate it. Me and
drives me crazy.
Yeah, those don't cock, guys. They just shoot. You don't hear the cock. That's enough talking about cock. All right, so here we go. Let's wrap this up because we're packing so much in, but we got to keep going. This is just the outro scenes while the music is playing. Let's just tie things up. So go ahead
with Nero and the boys. And this is my favorite part. Gemma doing the dishes in the dark, talking to herself, and she's going insane.
You think so?
She's justifying to herself.
So she's talking to herself in the dark, doing the dishes, right?
And then we got the Chinese guy, the big dude, tied up in the kitchen. He's gagged. And then it's dark. and Jax and the crew walk into the kitchen. Gemma says goodnight to Jax, and they kiss. I don't think there's any tongue involved, so that's probably okay. And then Gemma just letting Jax believe and get revenge, and that's how she's convincing herself. So the heat's off of her, and then Gemma's with Nero crying his arms because of her sins. No way. And Nero doesn't know and holds her. Now Nero and Gemma are starting to come back together a little bit.
Right.
Gemma, it's gonna be okay.
Oh,
It'll be all okay.
Life is good.
And then Tiggy and Jax and Chibs interrogate the Chinese guy.
Hey, real quick, hold that right there. Do you know who did this Bohemian Rhapsody?
I don't.
We're gonna give him a little credit here.
I really liked it.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, The White Buffalo, Billy Valentine, and Frankie Perez. The Forest Rangers is who did this. And those are featured. The White Buffalo, Billy Valentine, Frankie Perez.
The Forest Rangers.
It's a single soundtrack.
It's interesting.
It is. Okay, move along.
All right. So, the pliers and the hammer. Jackson thought the pliers and the hammer.
Just killed a man.
I don't know what that means. Burying dead sex people.
Oh, basically they're going right to outro scenes, so they're bumping back and forth between all these scenes. They're burying all those people in that sex extravaganza. The SOA guys are throwing them in a shallow grave.
They show Wayne tied up and gagged in the bathtub.
Right, they're just bumping scenes.
Yeah, I got it. But they play the scene. Jax.
They play.
He takes the Chinese guy's shirt off, and Jax is all bloody. They torture the Chinese guy, and then now the salt was cool because they show him pouring it.
In what?
Into his
wound, right?
Yeah, but he was pouring in his hand, and then he puts it right to one of the wounds, like on his chest,
dude.
And then they're still trying to interrogate him a little bit, but the bloody Jax is smoking the cigarette, and it's all bloody. He gives it to Chibs, and Chibs kind of looks at it. And
he did in the background.
Sets it down like I ain't having any Chinese blood on my cigarette.
Dude, that is so freaking funny. The little things they throw in like that.
It is funny. And then Jax gets out the very symbolic fork.
Yeah. No, it was a knife.
No.
Was it a fork? I thought
it was symbolic. He gets out the fork.
Really?
And he sticks him in the hand. I'm almost positive because the handle
How
blade.
positive are you?
I'm almost 99.9% positive. It has to be the fork because that's how Gemma killed Tara.
I know, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, Jax knew that because he found her on the floor.
I believe you. I need to go watch it now.
I'm almost positive that he got the fork out because they showed it. Like, why would they just show him getting the knife out? But they showed him. They showed the fork handle and all this stuff.
We're gonna watch that again, guys.
Yeah, we'll have to. And then he stuffs it in the Chinese guy's melon.
Right in the top of his skull.
Right in the skull, which is...
That's how he finished him off. He tortured him for a long time, but that's how he finished him.
And that's how Tara... And he thinks this guy killed Tara.
Oh?
It has to be.
I believe you.
It has to be.
That's how much I miss, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I remember that pretty clearly because it was all dark, and then Jax was paused, and then he got the fork out, and pow.
Yep. There we go, guys. All right, let's move on, dude. And so we're going to be episode 2. You want to go ahead? Aired September 16, 2014, called Toil and Till. Now we're going to breeze through episode 2 here because we've covered a lot of it because of episode 1.
Right.
So you want to talk about this here real quick?
So Gemma and Nero are in the kitchen drinking coffee. Gemma's smoking. And Wendy gets up and says, I told you not to smoke around the boys.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Gemma says, I got Abel down to a half pack a day.
Freaking trash, dude. I love it.
And then Wendy tells Gemma, hey, Abel's going to be starting pre-K. And Gemma, because Gemma has this thing about kids have to be around the family.
Mm-hmm.
And Wendy tells Gemma, hey, look, this is not us being lazy. This is this is Abel's education.
Right. And Tara had apparently mentioned it. That's what Gemma says.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then
go for it.
Tig and Rat are spying on the Chinese.
It is Tig and Rat. Yep.
It is Tig and Rat. They're spying on the Chinese, and the Chinese are going to drive by, and Tig and Rat are in that sweet 80s station wagon with the wood paneling, and Tig tells Rat,
dude, we got to play that.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
this is awesome.
Yeah, because I couldn't do it justice.
Right. We'll break it down. Here we go.
Shit, man. We've been here for over 4 hours. You think Connor was wrong?
I think you should stop whining.
I'm just saying, what if Lin ain't moving his shit today?
What if you stopped asking questions?
What if you weren't such a dick?
What if when we're done here, we go to your house and I rape your mama?
What if you find her on top of your dad slamming a big black dildo in his ass while he's calling out my name?
Nice touch.
Nice touch.
Thanks.
That wasn't the scene I was thinking of. But.
If you said that to anybody else, they'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But Tig just looks. He's like, nice touch,
hey, way
bro.
to go, dude.
Those
way
two,
to go. Very witty.
Those two are kind of funny now.
They are funny.
All right, pick it up from there.
But so, what does Tig tell Rat? He says, "What are we gonna do if they drive by? They'll see us." And Tig says, "Nope. I'm just a man. I'm just a guy in a car on a street
in a bad neighborhood.
In a bad neighborhood, getting some bad head." And Rat looks at him, and Tig shoves Rat's head in his lap, and then there's some going on there a little bit.
He makes it look like he's getting a blowjob, dude. Yeah.
And then Rat says,
and the thing is, Tig's getting into it, dude.
He's liking it. And he says,
Yeah.
take it all. And Rat says, "Are you getting hard, dude?" That is so wrong.
And that's when he pulls his head off his lap.
Yeah,
Dude.
well, the Chinese drive by and Tig keeps going.
He does. He goes, "Are they gone yet?" Tig goes, "Not yet." He just, dude, that guy's a freak of
He's a weirdo.
nature.
Right.
All right. So Jax and Marks meet up. This is an interesting little deal. You want to go over what they talked about?
Jax tells Marks that Nero set up the meet. And then he tells Marks that Jax tells Marks that he pitched the idea to Lin and he liked it. And Marks says, and are the Irish going to be able to fill the order? And Jax says, yeah, some AKs and the mods. Marks hopes it'll satisfy Lin's need for retribution.
He likes Jax's plan, right?
Yep, likes Jax's plan. Jax says, it lets brown and yellow wrap their head around you being Gun King. So Jax is starting
Which is the Mayans,
right.
the Hispanics, and the yellow are the Chinese, just for the audience, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Marks asks about Tara and the investigation, which is just a nice, hey, I'm not really thinking about you, but...
He says they will find out the truth, though, about Tara. That's what Mark says, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark says revenge can't land on the street right now.
Oh, too late.
Because
we looked at each other.
The torture guy.
When they said this, remember, we looked at each other like, a little too late for that.
Revenge can't land on the street right now. It'll kick off a street war, and all the heat, the police,
the popo, damn
crushes
popo.
our expansion.
Damn
so
popo.
Marx is kicking down some knowledge to
from
Jax.
Pope.
Yep. Oh yeah, because if there's one thing Pope taught me, is what he tells him.
Good recall.
So Mark says Pope taught him that if your emotions say now, your head has to say later.
Yes.
And then Jax lies right to Mark's face, which is uncommon in this show. When I find out who killed my wife, I won't do a thing until the time is right.
And they shake hands on that lie.
Because Marx is like, I just taught this white guy what Pope taught me, and it worked.
Jax can't be taught, dude. He's
he's Gemma's kid.
Yes. All right, so Juice still has Unser tied up and gagged. Of course, we go to that scene. He does cut him loose. How did you know I was here is what Juice says. Unser says, I saw your backpack in the closet, you freak. Now, he didn't say the freak part, but you, so Unser's starting to dig now. You hiding from the club? Is it about Tara, Unser? That's what he asked him. And of course, Juice says, no, old sins, says he.
Unser knows that's not right.
He knows.
Yeah, because if it was old sins, the club would back Juice up.
Oh, yeah.
Unser knows.
At this point, especially.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so Unser is very curious how he landed at Wendy's house. Unser says that Wendy just got out of treatment, and the only other people with keys are me and Gemma. So Unser says, me and Gemma are the only people that have keys, bro.
And Unser's a cop, and he goes, I didn't let you in.
I don't have, ding, 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 ding. So he basically makes the assumption, Unser does, that Gemma likely let him stay there. All right, we'll come to that. Juice tells him to go. This is funny. So Juice, guys, you can go. Now that he's got him untied, Unser sits down instead. The old guy, what are you going to kill a guy with cancer?
Yeah.
Right? That's my
What
take.
did he say? I got no better place to be.
Right.
Unser
I got
tells
no
Juice.
yeah.
I got no better place to be.
And Juice just goes, really?
Yeah.
Dude, really?
Really? I could change my mind.
Says, what if I change my mind? Yeah. And Unser says, you won't.
He won't, yeah.
So Unser figures out that Jax will kill Juice for his old, quote, old sins. So Unser knows he's a dead man if Jax finds him.
Right.
Didn't really say that, but that's what he gets out of it. Unser says he needs to get out of town and Unser agrees to help him. Unser's in a lot of stuff on this.
Making some allies.
I don't know why he wants to help him. I just think that he's manipulating like everybody else does in the show.
They just can't help it.
Right.
They just can't stop.
Right. So here, this is awesome, dude, because we roll right into, we already know that Unser from episode 1 talked to DA Patterson about this consulting job. Well, Unser takes him up on it, or takes her up on it, and he now he sits down with this new sheriff, which is Annabeth Gish, right?
Sheriff Jerry.
Yeah, her name tag says Jerry on her name tag. Jerry.
Jerry.
I'm going to want to see everything you have on Tara Knowles' murder.
Why's that?
Just bringing myself up to speed. Want to be the best consultant I can be.
There's one Sons of Anarchy member that we haven't been able to question. Ortega?
Ortiz. Juice.
Right. Any idea where we can find him?
These guys come and go all the time. Charters up and down the coast. He could be anywhere.
You think he might know something?
About Tara? I doubt it. Juice is kind of like a child. Not too savvy.
As opposed to the other leather-clad Mensa members?
Don't buy into that white trash myth, man. These guys are not cretins. Jax Teller is formidable. As smart as he is dangerous.
Good to know. Take it easy, Mr. Unser.
I'll try. You have a nice day.
So there you go. Unser sits down with her. He takes the consulting job. Let's break that down a little bit. I know you got some thoughts.
I got a revelation.
All right. Let's get you. Can you hold your revelation for a second? So Unser sits down. Of course, this is a really good deal. DA Patterson got him a healthcare packages, right?
Yeah, because he's $1 trillion in debt by now, he says.
Right, from his cancer.
Right.
And so this is like a deal he has to take. It's part-time. Patterson got him on the county insurance plan. It's very appealing, of course. Unser can carry a gun. She says you can carry a gun if you want, but he has to get his own gun. So who knows if Unser will do that. But Unser says he will need to see the entire, of course, murder file. That comes into play a little bit later. So apparently she gave it to him. We didn't find out there.
Right.
But she gave it to him because later Gemma will talk about finds it in his trailer. But Unser says, yeah, why do you want to do it? I just want to be the best darn consultant I can be. Yeah, whatever.
I'm going to tie this together like a shoe here in a minute.
All right. You're going to tie it together. She brings up the fact that she talks about Juice. Of course, he lies to her because we know he just talked to Juice. He was bound and gagged by him. All right. So go ahead before we move on with your revelation.
Now remember,
this better be good. I'm just teasing,
it's good. No, it's good.
I love having
you.
You
might fall out of your chair.
I will.
Because remember, Unser tells Patterson, I don't do that anymore. And then he sees the thing go down with Juice.
Oh.
And he knows Gemma. And specifically asks for the Tara Knowles file. Mm-hmm. He knows. I think he knows at this point that Gemma killed.
I do too.
Tara.
I agree with you.
Because he's going, why would Tara help Juice? She's never cared about him before. Yeah, he knows. He wants to figure it out. But he wants to keep it to himself. Why? Because he's going to use it later.
I agree.
So he's holding Juice and Gemma.
I agree.
Yeah.
He does. People don't give Unser enough weight.
No, he's a white guy, but he's smart.
And as we see in this episode, dude, he's got his hands in everything. There's a reason for that.
He's like the puppet master.
He's got his hands in Gemma. Not literally his hands. Okay. If you had your hands in Gemma, they might fall off. I'm just saying.
And if he had his hands in Gemma and Juice, he'd be Tig.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But he's got his hands in everything, dude. He's talking to Gemma. He's talking to Wendy. He's talking to Juice. He's talking to Jax. He's talking to the sheriff. He's talking to the
Patterson,
DA. I mean, dude.
He's weaving magic.
He is like the kingpin of putting all this information together.
Man.
He's going to get whacked.
Unser is getting... That's why he's doing this.
Right.
He knows.
No, he's got cancer.
He's building alliances.
So what if he gets whacked?
He's like Nero.
Right.
In the end, him and Nero are going to get married in Washington.
All right. So Jax and the crew meets with Indian Hills chapter. We found out that the Indian Hills chapter, this is interesting, guys, because this is from back in... at some point, it was in a season. We actually had...
3 or 4?
Right. We actually had to look this up.
So the Indian Hills crew... Gosh, season 4, there was something going down. I can't remember exactly what, but SOA rides to Nevada and they meet with Jury and his crew.
Jury's the president now.
Of the Devils. He was the president of the Devil's Tribe.
Right, but right now he's the president of the Indian Hills. Where did the Indian Hills Sons of Anarchy chapter come from?
That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Jury was the president of the Devil's Tribe, and there was something going on, I think, with the Mayans, and SOA rode to Nevada, and met with jury and said, hey, it's probably in your best interest to patch over for your own safety.
Okay, so you got good memory of this,
and that's
right?
where Clay sleeps with Half-Sack's girlfriend, and then she comes back, and Gemma finds out, and there's a big to-do about that. But those guys all patch over, and they patched over Devil's Tribe and someone else. They sent, because the Tacoma crew came down, but then they sent the Tacoma guys back up to go somewhere else to patch over, and I can't remember who else they patched over.
It's funny how this stuff just comes back, and then I actually have to think about it and research. I know we did, to find out what the frick where did these guys come from, because it's so involved. So that's where Indian Hills chapter comes from, right? Jax and the crew meet with the Indians Hill chapter out of Nevada.
Right.
And what goes down here, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about it a little bit. I do have a sound clip for this, I believe, but let's talk about it just a little bit before I get into that sound clip.
So jury wants to know what the plan is. And they have a very interesting conversation, because jury basically tells Jax kind of like, whoa, are you thinking this through? So jury wants to know what the plan is. Finally, Jax spills his plan, right? Because Gemma tells Jax that the Chinese killed Tara.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jax tells jury, hey.
Which is funny, because I don't mean to interrupt real quick, but to set it up, because at first Jax isn't really saying a whole bunch, and he's like, what's this about? And then Bobby starts it, right? Bobby starts it and goes,
he does.
We're going to kill them all, or whatever, Yeah, go ahead.
Because jury wasn't buying off.
I'm playing it in my head, right?
Yeah, jury wants to know, when he's getting his guys involved, hey, what are we doing? What's the end game here? And jury actually asked Jax, when does this stop? And then Jax goes into the whole spiel.
Which we have a soundbite for. You want to play it?
Yeah, we should.
I know how deep this is for you, brother. Indian Hills has got your back. What happened to Tara? That shit should never happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just need to let my crew know what else you're gonna need from us. We've been doing some muling for the Vegas Triads into Mexico.
Look, Jerry, striking back at the Chinese is Redwood's war. If you're worried about blowback,
I'm here to help,
Nevada,
Jax. Just need to know the game plan.
We're gonna unravel Lin, take apart his business, fracture all his relationships. But for now, no one can know it's us.
August Marks doesn't want us to trip up his gun expansion with some street war. And he cannot know that we're the ones gutting Lin.
Black is not an enemy we want right now.
It's ambitious. Where does it end?
I'm gonna wait till Lin's vulnerable, out of allies, and then I'm gonna reach out, offer him a helping hand. Once I'm inside, got his total trust, I'm gonna let him know that I was the one who ruined him. Then I'm gonna look around his table at his men, his family, ask him who he wants spared. First person he points to, that's who I'm killing. And then everyone else he cares about. I'm gonna let him live in the agony of that for a little while. And then I'm gonna end him. As slowly and painfully as possible.
I understand your personal need here, son. The level of payback you're talking about pulls the club in a very different direction. The last time I heard you share your vision, you were talking about cutting the ties to the things that were killing us.
I don't have a vision anymore. All I see is what's right in front of me.
This the local muscle?
Yeah.
Where do you find them?
One of my whores.
Tell us at the very end there. Let's do that first. After they're done with that little spiel that Jax gives them, they look back. There's two guys there.
The truck drives up.
Go ahead.
Two guys that jump out. And is it Chib says, is that the local muscle?
No, he says, who are those guys?
Oh, who are those guys? Yeah, that's the local muscle. And then,
oh, sorry.
I was like,
stand by.
Someone here?
No. And then I hate it when websites start playing videos for no reason.
Chib says, where'd you find them? And I heard it even better now in the soundbite.
Awesome.
He says, from one of my local whores. Or from one of my whores.
Okay.
Meaning this gal is, or whoever the whores set me up with these guys.
Okay, so one of his local whores that he sees set him up with these guys, and they're his local muscle.
Right.
They will come into play later, guys. That's why we're talking about it. Anything you want to say about that soundbite? It was pretty clear exactly where Jax is going. It was a really clear scene.
But now Jax has gotten it from two sources. From Pope via Marks and from Jury, which is the chill the F out.
Right.
The vendetta. Yeah.
True.
He's getting it twice.
True.
And he's still carrying on.
Will he listen?
And Jury, at the end, now that I hear that again and see the end of episode 2, I'm like, I see what's coming, because Jury did not like what Jax had to say.
I agree.
And he smells that Jax is using the club to carry out his personal vendetta.
Oh, he smells what he's cooking.
Oh, I smell what The Rock is cooking.
Okay. We talked about this briefly for the audience, the listening audience. If you don't know, which a lot of you probably do, the whole reason, and I just had to run this by Oscar before the podcast, the whole reason that Jax wants to ruin Lin is because he believes the Chinese is involved in Tara's murder.
Yep.
And because they already killed one, and because Gemma, they already killed one of the Chinese guys. His whole existence is vengeance for Tara.
Right.
Okay.
That's where he's at.
All right. There you go. Move on, dude. Tig and Rat. So at this point, Tig and Rat.
He sticks the phone in his face.
Oh, geez, these knuckleheads, dude. They're kind of becoming kind of a little comedic pair there. But so what do? Go from there.
They're spying on the Chinese again. Tig calls Jax to tell him the Chinese have showed up, and he doesn't know where he is.
Right. Some backcountry road, right?
Yeah, Route 201 or whatever. And Rat's talking in the background, trying to tell Tig where they are, and Tig shoves the phone in Rat's face and kind of pushes him around with the phone while Rat's trying to talk.
That was awesome. Did you get that? He says, did you get that?
Yeah. So Jax and the crew show up.
Now this is to set the scene. It's a country, fields and stuff, and this is a long dirt road that they can't tail them anymore, right?
Right.
So they're
some kind of meeting spot.
They're going to head down there.
Yeah, they head down there, and surprise, surprise, there's gunfire and death.
Oh yeah, but the SOA and Indian Hills, the charming, or Jax's crew and the Indian Hills are all involved.
Killing the Chinese.
You're right. Killing the Chinese who are trying to do a gun deal. Of course, Jax knew all about it. One Chinese guy ends up running away, getting away in that box truck, and the chase is on, dude.
It was a good chase. It was a box truck.
Oh yeah, Jax is driving and Chibs is in the bed, and of course he almost falls out, hanging on. It's all Hollywooded up, man. The music's going. The box truck rolls over. The Chinese guy tries to run, but he's injured. Chibs shoots him to stop him in the leg.
And where's he gonna run to? There's no big field.
He's got a briefcase and there's apparently money in it, and there's a bank close. You know that.
Yeah,
there's a Bank of America.
Get to the BOA.
Bank of America right around the corner. All right, Jax gets the briefcase. They end up, he walks up, gets the briefcase. There is not money in it. This was a pretty surprise to them. There's heroin.
China White.
Yep, China White heroin.
That's fairly cliche since it's a Chinese gang.
Right. So Chinese guy injured says, Chibs puts his foot and smashes into his wound and says, he asked you a question, is this yours? And he says, yes, the triads. This is where he said, this is a quote. Yes, the triads trade their weapons for heroin, which triads we came to the conclusion is the mafia, right?
Right.
Okay, the Chinese mafia. Jax finishes off the Chinese guy, pops him in the head, of course, and they take the heroin, and the boys take all the guns, as obviously the Chinese are dead, so now they got the heroin and the gun.
So Jax, or Bobby calls Berosky to find a place to store the guns and the heroin. They decide to split the heroin 50-50 with the Indian Hills, right? Because the Indian Hills guys were muling.
Right, he said that earlier, the jury, the president.
Yep, they were muling some stuff for the Mayans. And so now Jury seems to be okay with how things are going. Jax, Bobby, and Chibs take off on their bikes. And then Chibs has a bundle of heroin stuffed down the front of his pants.
Oh, yeah. That comes into play later.
And see, I didn't see that coming right away.
I didn't either.
I was like, why are they doing that?
I mean,
they're going to use it for something, but
I could not figure it out.
Because they're not dope runners.
No, but
they never have been.
No, but they made sure and showed it. So I was like, it's got to do something.
Yeah. So there's two non-club members helping the Indian Hills.
And these are the muscle guys we talked about who come into play.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in the chase. Jax messed up their Dodge. So when he comes back,
it was all tore up. That nice Dodge.
He says, "Hey, sorry about your truck. Give me an address where we can float you some cash to pay for your truck."
And being naive a little bit,
right.
I actually thought, I was like, "That's pretty cool." Jax is taking care of the Indian Hills crews as muscle.
Right.
He's going to give him cash.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to stand here.
How did he see that far ahead? See, I didn't see that far ahead. Like, oh, okay. So
maybe he was going to be nice and then he changed his mind.
No, he saw that coming. No way. So he had to have known ahead of time
that he was going to kill him.
Ahead.
That he was going to kill him.
Yeah,
okay, we'll get to that. But yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But just so the audience doesn't get confused, he does kill those guys later. But I didn't see that coming. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, not only that he knows he has to kill him, but why he has to take the heroin.
Right. I know
because
I get it, dude. I don't know.
Wow. Way to go, Kurt Sutter. You baffled me on that.
He might have screwed up there a little bit. I'm not going to give him that much credit.
I think come on. He had to have. That was all mapped out because Jack's laid out the plan to jury. Right?
Right.
So he's got a plan. So this seems to fit. At the end of the episode, you look back and go, okay.
Right.
It fits.
All right. Do you want to talk real quick about, because it will come into play later, Jury was using a very specific sawed-off shotgun when he was killing the Chinese.
After they're cleaning up the scene, and you see the shot of the one shotgun with the duct taped kind of shaved down wood pistol grip handle. Yep. Someone chucks it in the van, and Jury looks at it and sees it.
The president of Indian Hills Jury, yes, he sees it, and it's a very clear scene.
Yeah,
I didn't make sense of it until later.
I didn't either. I thought that's interesting, and he cares about that shotgun.
So remember that, listeners. We're going to bring that up in a minute.
So then Nero, Berosky, and the Mayans, Oakland, right?
Stockton president.
That guy's
maybe Oakland or Stockton, one of the two. My bad.
So I wrote. It's not Alvarez. It's the other guy.
Right.
They all sit down together. Nero's introducing the Mayans to Berosky, and then that guy says, "Hey, we're moving coffee up from Central America."
Well, he goes,
"Where do you want to store your beans?"
Right. Yeah.
Berosky tells the president, "Where do you want to store your beans?"
That didn't start things off well.
No,
I'm not going to lie to you. That's kind of derogatory.
Sort of. And then the Mayan president, Berosky, all pissy with each other because the Mayan president knows Berosky's going to be greedy. But Berosky tells the Mayan president, "Hey, you need to tell me where the dope's being stored."
Well, he wants to know where to store it, right?
To establish some trust.
Right. Where are you storing it? Right.
Right.
Okay.
So then they kind of work things out a little bit. Berosky says he wants $5,000 a week for the deal.
Because remember, the Mayans president guy from Oakland or Stockton, whichever it is, he doesn't want.
He wants to pay a flat fee.
He wants to pay a flat fee per week, and Berosky says that's going to take about $5,000 to turn that many heads. There's going to be a lot of heads that have to turn and look away. Okay?
Right. So then the Mayan president gets lippy again, and he says the dirty cops in Oakland were smart, never got greedy, never let the power get to their heads. And he's talking to Berosky, and Berosky shoots back about the president being a convicted rapist, and Berosky tells him, "Oh, I did my homework on you too."
Being the ex-cop he is.
Right. Nero pipes up and he tells Berosky, "You're a scumbag just like the rest of us, Charlie.
You don't may be an ex-cop, you're a scumbag.
You're a scumbag. You don't get to sit here and play good cop anymore."
I love it.
The Mayan president says he'll think about it. He says, "I'll take it to the table." And then he gets up and leaves.
And so now in episode 1 and 2, we've seen Alvarez doesn't like Berosky. Yeah. He says he's going to push it too far, remember?
Yep.
And now you've got the Mayan president of Oakland saying he doesn't like him.
Right.
Dude, the Mayans and Berosky's going to die.
He might.
He's part of the body count.
Yeah.
I have no doubt my prediction is Berosky will die.
We have to have 2 different body counts. The normal body count and then the Revenge for Terra body count.
No doubt, dude.
All right.
So where are we now?
So Nero leaves, and then Berosky tells the waitress, "Nora, you're the only person I don't want to see dead right now."
Right, right.
Derogatory towards Nora.
So the next scene, this is great. So Unser meets up with Gemma, and this is after he's been gagged and bound and released by Juice, right?
Yeah.
And we'll play the sound bite, but it was awesome because just listen to this. The first thing he comes in, typical Gemma. Wayne, you look like shit.
Yeah.
Just, dude. And
I didn't get much sleep.
There's some funny parts in here you guys want to listen to. When Unser says, "Yeah, that's the part about the bound and gagged. That's the part of the story about being bound and gagged." And he's actually pretty funny, dude. This was well written.
Yeah.
It's just a real fun scene to listen to. So let's go ahead and listen to it, and we'll follow up on that.
You look like shit, Wayne.
I didn't sleep much. Spent the night in the bathtub, bound and gagged.
Wow. What'd that cost you?
Nothing. Juice didn't charge me. I know you've been helping him, Jen.
Shit. How'd you know he was there? Wendy?
I spotted Juice's bag when I was picking her up. Went back to check it out after I dropped her off.
What'd he say?
Not much at first. Neither did I. That would be the bound and gagged part of the story.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He cut me loose. He's all twisted up, Jen. Told me why you were helping him. It's a good thing. You putting friendship over club rule. I know that choice didn't come easy.
No, it didn't.
I told Juice I'll tell you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm tired of counting bodies, too.
Thank you, Wayne.
I'm gonna go lay down a little.
Yeah. Bring you some tea?
That would be nice.
All right, there you go. So pretty good sound clip, pretty much explains everything. Unser tells him, so she knows all about, that he met with Juice and all that. And
the look on her face when he said, Unser told me.
I know.
And then she was like, and then he's like, it's a good thing. She goes,
true. Very good point. She was relieved that, okay, I guess he's on her side. And he said he's willing to help, right?
Right.
Both of them. Right. So Unser's napping in the trailer. She says she's going to bring him some tea, of course. She sees, of course, while she's dropping the tea off, she sees the San Joaquin.
Wait, but hold on.
Go ahead.
You got to back this up a little bit.
No, go for it.
Because Unser says, I'm going to go lay down now. And Gemma tells Unser, you want me to bring you some tea?
Right.
So Unser knows Gemma's coming over.
True.
And Unser knows he's probably going to be asleep.
True.
So then Gemma shows up in the trailer with the tea.
And what did you think? The same thing I did. The Unser's dead.
I thought Unser was dead.
I did too, because he looked dead. And he doesn't die. And so at some point he's got to die. And we thought he died.
Yeah. And but what's laying out in plain view right as Gemma comes through the front door
of his trailer,
of his little travel trailer.
It's sweet. It's chrome.
It is chrome. She finds the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office folder on the Tara Knowles murder, right in plain view. And then she opens it and sees she opens the folder and sees that it's about Tara's murder investigation. She sees a couple of pictures of Tara being murdered, and then she finds Unser's consulting investigator ID badge.
The consulting investigator.
You can't tell me Unser didn't leave that out there on purpose.
And this was a good point you brought up. I don't know, dude.
He had to.
But I like your thought.
He had to have. He's setting Gemma up. See, he's starting to connect because he's doing.
What would that possibly do for the good of him? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
He doesn't. That's the cool thing about Unser. He doesn't know yet. But he knows,
dude.
He knows he's on to Gemma, and Gemma knows he's on to Gemma. And so now she knows, he's going to have his fingers in this at both levels.
At some level, I have to agree with you. Because it's so stupid of him to know she's bringing tea and then for him to go to sleep and leave that crap right out. And so at some level, I agree with you. I don't want, but yeah, I get it. It was either a really crappy setup scene, which I doubt it.
No.
Kurt's not like that. He's not sloppy. Kurt Sutter's not like that.
No.
So I have to go with you, bro, that he meant to do that.
Yeah. He's setting up Gemma.
And I did not think that before you told me. So there you
go. You know why?
Why?
Because Unser still loves Gemma.
You're right.
And this is his leverage to make Gemma run away with him.
He wants to go balls deep one last time.
There's my
prediction.
In the sunset, is Jackson and his boys walking off in one direction and Unser and Gemma in the other.
Oh, geez.
And then Gemma, pow, shoots herself in the head. I'm taking that from you.
Yeah, right. All right, so Nero and Wendy driving, and Lin and the Mayans on the motorcycles surround them all of a sudden. Remember that?
Yep.
So you got the Oakland Mayans, the president there, and Lin is not happy. So stop him. He tells Wendy to duck. He doesn't know what's going down. They get out of the car. Lin, the Chinese shot caller there, tells him that someone hit his gun delivery. Damn, he's pissed. All Lin found was a lot of blood in an overturned truck. Of course, that was part of the high-speed chase there.
He's missing his guns and his Chinese guys.
Oh, yeah. They're MIA, dude. Wants his guns and his heroin. I think he said, I think I have that wrong. But
no, I'm missing guns, my heroin, and 6 Chinese guys.
There you go. Good call. Lin says that the only one to know about that shipment outside his circle are the Irish. So immediately he blames the Irish. They must have told Jax. He believes the SOA, Sons of Anarchy MC hit his crew. Right. Nero says, that doesn't make sense, bro. That makes no sense. And Teller is the very one that set up this deal for you, man. Why would he, take down your gun shipment, dude? He's the one that got you the Irish guns. Lin tells him to find Teller ASAP for him. And he makes no mistake about it, does he?
Gives him 24 hours?
Right. And didn't he say something else there too? that I'm sorry. Oh, this is Lin and Nero. I was jumping ahead to Lin's. I'm getting it messed up. So yeah. And so Nero says, okay. He calls him. And of course, Wendy, remember that? Very interesting. He got in the car and he looks at Wendy, and I think this is going to come into play later. Nero goes, "You heard all that, right?" She's like, "Yep."
Right.
Why would they do that? There's no reason, and Kurt has a reason for that. Trust me.
Yeah, true. He's a genius writer.
He is.
He's a
little
genius
things
writer.
like that. I didn't used to when I first started watching Sons of Anarchy. I was like, that's no big deal. It's just another
A-team. It's just the A-team.
Why would you need to do that scene where he specifically looks at her and goes, "You heard all that, right?" And then she goes, "What are you going to do?" He goes, "I guess I'm going to get rid of my diplomatic immunity."
That's right. Yep.
This is a whole scene for a reason.
It's not been that way. I think Kurt has developed this more as the episodes are going on.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I absolutely believe that too. So Gemma visits Juice over at Wendy's house, of course. Gemma and Juice talk about the lie that they've, entangled themselves within. Gemma told Jax that the Chinese guy, Gemma tells, Juice. She says, "Hey, I told Jax the Chinese did it, blah, blah, blah. He's buying it." She says she's so sick and twisted, quote, "He needed it," says Gemma, quote, "closure for him." Closure.
Wow.
Yeah, so she basically feels good about this guy, Chinese guy, getting tortured because Jax needed it. Little Jax needed
just
closure.
Looking out for her boy.
Absolutely. That's what a mama does.
That is what a mama does.
A good mama. Gemma wants to know what he told Unser. So Gemma tells him that Unser is helping with Tara's case. So she's talking to Juice a little bit about this. Yeah, Unser's in on it, but I'm not too sure. Juice is worried about it, but she says, "You know what? He didn't want you killed, Yeah. So I don't think he's going to sell you out, basically.
Right.
Basically he's hired to be some kind of consultant. Gemma gives Juice a burner, which is a phone, a throwaway phone. One of those prepay phones. 43.
She says it's a club burner.
She did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, see, I missed that, dude.
Yeah, here's a club burner. And I'm like, well, why would she give him a club burner?
I missed it. I just heard burner, dude. Man, I like it. Look at you over there.
Something's happening.
Look at you over there,
Kurt's
dude.
got something brewing.
The things, and I watched each episode twice and took notes, and I still didn't hear club burner. I just heard burner. It's so funny how my mind works, how the human mind works.
Yeah, right.
So I like having you guys here in the studio. You bring up all kinds of good points that I missed.
And our good looks and stuff.
Club burner. So there you go. It may have something to do with the key. She gives him the key to her dad's house. Of course, her dad's dead, but it's empty. It's up for sale. The power's onto it. He can stay there until pack your shit, she says. Take the junkie's car, which is Wendy, and it's call me when you get there.
It's a Buick Enclave.
Oh, see,
it's a Buick SUV.
Right.
It's a really nice one. How does a junkie get a Buick SUV?
Your tax money hard at work, bro. Your tax money hard at work. All right, here's the intense scene when Nero, Lin, and Jax meet. And I think we should probably just play the sound clip and then we'll break it down. Here we go.
It wasn't us, Henry. We met with August this morning. We've been at the porn warehouse since then.
And it must have been the goddamn Irish. Maybe Marks has them on a string too.
No. IRA don't give a shit about local buys. And they hate the fact they're working with black. So, it wasn't Connor.
Look, I put my Indian Hills charter on it. They know Selma. They're gonna dig in. I'll find out who did it.
Why do you have until noon tomorrow? If I don't have something by then, I swear to God to you. No, you don't. I am done playing by nigger rules. I want my men, my guns, and my heroin. Let me be very clear, Jackson. If that does not happen, the violence will not stop at the Stockton-Oakland borders. It will come to Charming. I will turn Mayberry into a goddamn killing field.
Oh, Jax's little plan is backfiring on him because he's trying to reel Lin in this whole time, right? So he can slowly kill him and his family and all that.
Yeah.
Lin is not going to be sucked in at this point.
Oh, he's sucked in.
Jax is going to have to do something big.
He already did. He's creating confusion and panic in Lin's mind, making Lin do stupid things.
Yeah, okay. There
so
you go.
Lin's not calm right now. Now he's in a panic and he wants to know what's going on so Jack can move him around wherever he wants.
I like it, Oscar.
See?
Man.
See?
That scene pretty much speaks for itself, dude. So going into episode 3 of season 7, we're going to try to figure out what Jax is going to do about this. All right. Here we go. We're going to wrap it up, guys. We're getting close to 2 hours, which is a long time, I know, but hey, we got to get all this information. There's just so much, information going on in these episodes. that they're going to be a little bit longer, and we could do 2, but I just rather wrap it all up into one. It's hard to get everybody over here all the time. So here's the outro scenes.
So Jax, Chibs, and Bobby go to the...
This is the outro song, by the way, on this episode.
the boys.
Give some credit real quick. This is Yellow Wolf, and YELAWOLF. Yellow Wolf, and I'll have a link in the show notes to his Wikipedia. Go ahead.
Jax, Chibs, and Bobby go to the boys, the hired hands from earlier, during the Indian, when they take down the Chinese gun deal, to give them the cash. They shoot and kill both of the guys, and then here we see the heroin come back into play. Chibs takes the heroin out and cuts it open. They shoot one guy with the shotgun, the other guy with the handgun.
Yep.
And this is where the shotgun comes back into
These are
play.
the 2 guys the
hired help.
The Indian Hills President Jury. Right. These are his muscle men. Okay, gotcha.
So they shoot one guy with the shotgun, one guy with the handgun, and then they try to make it look like these 2 shot each other over this heroin.
Mm-hmm. Make it look like a drug deal gone bad.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then Bobby calls Nero and tells Nero to tell Lin that they found the crew that hit his guys, and for Lin to come out and check it out.
So they're setting these guys up to make it look like these are the guys.
Yep.
So here's an alibi for Lin. We got it. It's dealt with.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
And then Juice makes it out to Gemma's dad's house. And then Jury, the president of the Indian Hills chapter, goes to these 2 guys' house, his hired help that he found from his whore, finds them dead, sheds a little tear, which I'm not, well, I have a theory, you had a theory on.
Yes.
And then at the very end,
the jury guy
finds
from Indian Hills, right?
Finds the shotgun. And he goes, oh. And then oh no.
Yeah.
That might be the backfire in the plan.
It might be.
Ooh, finds the shotgun. I think we clarified to ourselves in the end that maybe those were his.
Hold that thought. All right, I had to play that. Go ahead. I just wanted to screw you up. And then right when you went to take a drink of beer, I lowered the music.
I know. You're killing me right now.
I'm just working you.
So Jury is clutching his dead hired help.
His dead hired help whores.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't get
it either. Unless they were all male prostitutes.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they were maybe gay.
Wait. Or they were his sons.
I know, but he never said that. Why wouldn't he just tell Jax they're my boys? That way he would know they're safe.
Because he doesn't want anyone to know they're related in case something goes bad. They're just hired help. They're nobodies.
It's a good call,
He's
dude.
trying to bring him in. Because why else would he?
He was a little way too emotional for me.
Yeah, that was
when
weird.
he found their dead bodies for some muscle that he hired.
That he just found out from
a horror.
Right. Yeah.
I agree. There is something to that because he was pissed.
I'm thinking that's going to come back later.
But what else in that scene? Shotgun. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, the shotgun. It was the same shotgun that he...
Did you already say this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to music.
He sees the shotgun with the duct tape pistol grip handle that was in the van, and he knows now that the Sons set this up.
Yep.
He has to. He has notes.
Right. There's no other way out of that.
Nope.
So he knows that Jax is involved with their murder somehow, or Sons of Anarchy at least.
We're gonna have to figure out who
so
those guys are.
He may appease Lin in this, but he's not going to appease the Indian Hills president.
Right.
All right, so they take this out, and what else we got here? Juice makes it to Gemma's.
Yep.
Yeah, did you go over this?
Got that.
All right, goes to his dad's house, and
and that part of the plan was to bury the Chinese guys out at those
shallow graves.
Yeah, the hired help's place or something out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jury's got to know, and Lin would know. These 2 knuckleheads didn't kill all these Chinese guys.
Right.
I don't know what Jax is thinking right there.
Right. He's not.
Or there's a bigger plan.
He's in a state of vengeance. His mind is vengeance.
Vengeance clouds the mind.
Oh, man, dude. All right. I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Why don't you hit that last line there?
What are you looking at, dude?
That was your deal. Jax.
Oh, yeah. Jax does. At the very end, yep, he does see his boys. He goes and sits down with Abel. And that's the very outro scene there. He sits down or lays down with Abel, who's asleep, and a tear runs down his cheek. His sins are coming to haunt him.
They're coming to fruition.
See, Jax, he's got a heart, dude. He's a killer, but I'm telling you.
I don't know. He's consumed with
I'm still
vengeance
confident he's going to turn around and become a good person.
He's probably going to be a cop.
I'm pretty sure he'll pass the background check, dude.
Well, in some states, they don't have those.
Right. He'll be fine, dude.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
Probably
You got anything last before we wrap this up, guys? We do appreciate you guys sticking with us. I know that this episode was absolutely packed with information. So you might have to go back and listen to it a couple times, but hopefully we put everything in a nice wrapper for you guys in some sort of, understandable format, so to speak. Anything, Oscar?
I got nothing, brother.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
It's your last chance.
I got nothing.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us. Don't forget, if you guys want to leave some calls or comments for the show, we'd love it. We'd love to play some Sons of Anarchy comments.
Clips. That'd be cool.
Our listener hotline, 509-731-3548. And you can also leave a voicemail right from your computer at lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. Of course, we have the email at /contact, all that good stuff. Don't forget, guys, if you need a motorcycle mount for your motorcycle, head over and check out the Tech Mount. It's awesome. It's sexy. We got it on LD's bike. We got it on...
not made of lace, though.
No, it's not. We got it on LD's bike. We got it on Chewy's bike. It's awesome. We do have an affiliate with Power Sports US on that, lawabidingbiker.com/powersportsus. No additional cost to you. However, we get a small commission for each sale. So any help we can get, we appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the episodes. Don't forget, we do have our regular weekly episodes coming out that we do all year round. These are just special. And they're going to get a little long because we've got so much information. Appreciate it very much, guys. Peace out.
Later.
Keep your rubber side down.
Shiny side up.
Mm-hmm.